All right, we are live. We're back again after 2 weeks off for my vacation. For those of you wondering, we'll talk about that in time when we have it. Got an interesting slate today. A lot of baseball tonight, so that's really what we're going to talk about. Got some games getting ready to kick off right now. Some games already going on. There's some plays, those in the cord that we're on as well. We got to talk first about USA soccer. I like USA to win, but USA is minus 470. But I don't see a lot of goals in this game. I mean, I could see 2.5, 2-1 game. So what I'm going to bet is USA to win 1-0 at plus 140, or US 1-0, 2-0, or 3-0. Correct score combination. Or I'm going to bet USA to win 2-1, 3-1, 4-1 at plus 330. So either way, I'll make out for a slight little profit, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So. There's really no way. If you want to throw USA in a parlay, that's fine too. But it's minus 470. Doesn't really get you going. What's up, Daniel? We got some baseball getting ready to go off. San Diego, the Phillies, 0-0. My buddy gave the Nerfy on that. I didn't realize the game started 6:40. That cashed you really easily. So far, it's a 0-0 game. Cease only has one strikeout, though. That kind of sucks. It really needs to get going here for us in this bet here. I was hoping he'd be at 3 or 4 by now. It's not. I'm on the Twins. Twins are up 1-0, and we're in the second. We're going to move on here. We've got some games getting ready to start at 7:10. We've got Cincinnati and Boston, Milwaukee and near Mets. We got Mizraski going tonight, so we're going to definitely be on Mizer tonight. We'll see where Ramon's coming in here. He's coming in hot, so we'll see if he's ready to cheer on the USA boys. So, Ramon, the only way I saw to be able to get on this game is just to take the correct score combinations. I took 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 plus 140, and I took 2-1, 3-1, 4-1 at plus 330. I think it's going to be one of those two scores. I think it's either going to be a 1-0 game or a 2-1 game. So,
I'm going to zip right in there with 2-1. I'm going to take it. I can't take this team to cover this goal line. Look, it's been great, Sean. I'm glad they figured things out, at least for this tournament, but Guatemala's looked pretty good here. I mean, look at the games they've had so far. I think they've looked decent. I mean, that's why they're in this position, right? Because of how well they played, and the game against Canada there obviously was terrific, and the U.S.
Canada,
I mean, go ahead.
Canada was missing half their squad, their traditional squad. I mean, just like the U.S. is. This is definitely a B team. But it's a B team with playing with a heart, is what I like to say. They're giving up a lot more than what the national team normally gives up. They're playing with a little bit extra motivation, a little bit extra energy. But yeah, I could definitely see them conceding one. So.
Yeah, well, look, Guatemala, I didn't think the Panama loss was terrible. I thought that was okay. So I'll go with 2-1 because I think Guatemala for me on the goal line would probably be the pick that I would go with, plus that 1.5. I do think, you said a little bit of lean in there. I thought 2 under maybe, but I don't know if you were ready to go to the 1-1 direction there necessarily. But look, Guatemala is going to have a defensive approach, I would think here. Just like they did in those other 2 games. And then, U.S. has had some lapses for sure. I mean, 3 goals conceded in 2 games. I mean, it hasn't translated into blowouts or anything except for the TNT game there. But just looking, I'm glad this game is on, and I'm here with you because they better win or I'm going to be, ruining our broadcast with some profanity maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. And also on the day, we've got the U.S. women playing a nice friendly, but the friendlies versus Canada. So none of these games are generally really friendly. So that should be a very interesting game as well. Did you take anything on the U.S. women?
No, but did see the action here in women's Euros today. Finland win over Iceland, and then Norway gets a win. I thought they were okay. I thought, maybe we were looked to. I guess that is maybe the expected result for Norway. Not a blowout. Maybe they were a little bit. Did they underachieve their 2-1? Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely kind of was kind of looking. I wanted to watch that game a little bit more, but quite frankly, I've been dealing with. I may have COVID again. I'm actually going to be testing during the show. Coming back from my vacation, I've just been. I don't know if it's a time zone difference right now or if it's just the flat that there. So like, I've had days where I've got zero sleep, 2 hours sleep at best. Just we went to Hawaii for my 25th. And the 5 hour difference really kind of killed us. I was eating 4 meals a day. We were up every day at 5 o'clock because we thought it was 10 in our normal time frame. We were in bed every night by 10. Now, I will tell you one thing about Maui. If you've ever been, there is no nightlife. There's nothing. And I could started to figure out why, because there's no sporting events. There's nothing. There's nothing going on. And besides Japanese baseball, the bars are closed at like 10 o'clock. So unless you know like a clubhouse party, there's nothing going on, anything, anywhere at nighttime. So let's go into bed at 10 is like the whole island goes to bed at 10. So like even the hotel bars, all that stuff stopped at 10. And I started to go, why? They're like, well, your sporting events were done by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. What are we watching here? So it was kind of interesting to know. Like I was watching, like I watched that one NBA Finals game. That was at 2:30 in the afternoon. So that went over well on our vacation, as you can imagine. But we were there plenty of days, so I could bear to say, hey, I'm just watching this game. It's game 7. I'm watching game 7. So other than that, I really didn't watch much sports. Occasionally I'd watch the highlights. I kind of followed some things, bet some things. Most of the WNBA was not on in Maui. But yeah. But that we're back. I took Alyssa Thompson, anytime goal, plus 220. Okay. That's an interesting bet. Let me see if we have starting lineups in that. We do have starting lineups. Thompson is going to start, so that's pretty good. Samantha Coffey is also starting. Michelle Cooper starting. I mean, this is definitely. Sorry, something's bleeding. Thompson's not a bad bet. She scored in 2 straight games. I'll jump on with that for you. I'll jump on. I'll take that for 50. So we also have to have a big talk about the big, beautiful bill. Now, I don't like to get into politics, but we all know where I stand. But I did not know that this was in the big, beautiful bill, what they brought up on VEASAN. I'm really kind of pissed at it. What's in it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. There are some alarmists on social media saying that that people are twisting it a little bit too much early. And if you really dig deep down into the average professional bettor, not the elite professional bettors, and those that may claim, Sean?
1-0 USA.
Okay, I didn't want to. Yeah, I'll get to it, but we got to go quickly. This is bad news for Guatemala and great news for Team USA for sure. In the 4th minute, Sean, I don't want to say I didn't see it coming, but look, you're right. I mean, you look. Oh man, look who scored. So you're right. I mean, that's one thing this team has shown is representing out here is maybe what the other team, what the regular team, if you will, hasn't, and that's maybe some heart in some of these games, and a little bit of youthful enthusiasm as well. But that was just poorly managed there by Guatemala in the box.
Yeah, it's too easy. Little Cruyff, then comes right off the rebound. Boom. You had 4 defenders versus 2, and you couldn't get to the ball.
When you got a defender who's whipping and not in the right position, that's going to happen, and that'll change. So Diego, great play, great job there, Diego.
All right, so I'm going to pause real quick because we got baseball. I'm in Mizorowski to get 6 Ks tonight. 4.5 is juiced. I'm on that with the parlay. But I've given the 6 Ks. He's got 6 Ks in every start he's playing. The Mets are throwing out a lineup here that he should be able to get 6 Ks tonight. So I'm in the miser here tonight. I like Milwaukee also to win this game with Mizorowski going. Probably a first 5 type bet. So
yeah, Mets moved to Brazoban as an opener there. Believe it or not, opener for Brazoban and then Tidwell.
Yeah. So anything you like on the 7-10 games, real quick. Or the Yankees Blue Jays, which I've heard conflicting opinions. I'm going the Yankees here. I don't like Warren as a pitcher, but I just like the Yankees here in this game. I really don't know why. I looked at it. I've gone through. I know Berrios. I kind of sometimes fade Berrios. It's kind of the way I kind of go. If you want the Twins, we talked about the Twins earlier. It was 1-0 Twins. The Marlins have tied it. It's 1-1. I do like the Twinkies tonight. Minus 104. I'm actually going to go ahead and give that as a play. We're going to take a half unit on that.
I'm on the over there with the Woods, Richardson, and Junk going. I mean, obviously this is a great run for Miami right now. Miami and Pittsburgh, they're my 2 favorite teams. Did I tell you, Sean? I told you that these teams are going to start crushing here any day now and just come right on back. There. Okay, maybe Pittsburgh get within single digits of first place. That'd be a minor victory this season, but it's pretty fun at this point watching these sorry teams win. This weekend, I know you're ready to go with the big White Sox Rockies weekend series here. Going to be firing up.
Well, we're going to talk about that because I got pissed. I got absolutely pissed, and so okay. So what was it? So we talked about Maui. I'm not getting any sleep. We come back from the airport at 4 p.m. Is when our plane lands. We took a red eye the night before. So we drove in, got into Vegas at 5 a.m. Vegas absolutely screwed me. Told me our gate was it's a year from Vegas, so our gate was supposed to be, we got in at B23. The app says our next gate is B21. Our ticket says C8. The board says C8. I go over to B21 to go talk to someone, and they don't have anybody there. I go to the next desk. They don't have anybody there. I go to the next desk. They don't have anybody there. So we have 45 minutes. If you're not aware with Vegas, it's about a 20, 25-minute walk from B to C. It's not like right next door. Also, the world's dumbest thing ever in the world, that every gate goes numerically order 1 through 25. Gate C goes reverse order, C25 to C8. So when you think, okay, you're going to get to the gate pretty quickly as soon as you get to C, no, you're going to go through 17 other gates before you get to C8. I get to C8. I sit there and say, hey, we're here for the flight. Is this the right flight? It's like, oh, we forgot to tell everyone. So there's like 8 people behind me, and we're all like going through them. Now, my wife wanted to play slots, and she not going to get her chance to get slots, and just ran into it there. So anyway, I get into the airport. I at home at 4. I sleep for 2 hours, and then I'm up all night. And it was just, and from that point, my sleep has been wrecked every night. Just haven't got really any sleep. My wife's having the same issues. Where it's kind of joking. We're like, next time we'll just go to the Caribbean. It's not going to be much different. So,
for your 30th or your 50th next time, or next year, maybe 26.
It won't be next year. There is things I like to do. So, but yeah, we'll start with this.
Congratulations on 25 years of matrimony.
Yep, it's been fun.
I didn't leave you hanging there. By the way, Phillies just took the lead on my Padres. Kepler 2-run home run. I'm on the over in the Minnesota Miami game that you mentioned there. I said with Woods, Richardson, and Junk. These other late starters here. I went over with the Yankees in Toronto. I know it's dangerous to go over in a Yankees game right now with those massive run of unders that they had, but I maybe saw what Berrios does have some, he hasn't been great against this Yankee line, these Yankees bats here. I know Toronto's scorching hot. Maybe the side might be up for grabs, but I'll take the over there. I'm on with you with Milwaukee and Mizorowski. Can he really duplicate what he's been doing? If he does, man, you're calling it, Sean, on that over prop there with the K's. I thought maybe it would be a little bit tougher against a Mets team that, they are a little bit of contact in there. But I did go with I'm on Milwaukee and over in that game. And let's see what else. Just underway, right? Maybe I'm going to call an audible here with Cincinnati and Boston with Bernardino starting now. The left-hander, Bello, he ended up pitching in the first game of the doubleheader when the game was resumed in the fourth inning. Bello was the actual pitcher, so Bernardino gets the start. It's going to be kind of a bullpen game here. So I'm on the under, though, Cincinnati and Boston. And then this last one here with Angels and the Braves. Sean, I got to take the Angels against this rookie here right now. It looks like they've rushed him to the major leagues here a little bit with some of the injuries that they have, and he looks like he's just not ready yet. So I think maybe this Angels lineup can do something here.
Yeah, I had to get back and chart to figure out who was in, who was out. I mean, I had no idea. Like Schwellenbach got hurt or Brett fractured his elbow.
They just put him on the disabled list a few hours ago, and also Bailey Ober, but that should have been done a long time ago because he's obviously had a problem for the last month.
I will say there's a pretty large Guatemala contingent here.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. Anytime you get into these Latin American teams in the U.S., all of a sudden they're there. Now, I will say something, but that would be really, really bad. But
look, Guatemala's put themselves in a bad position, but now they are going to have to, it feels like, adjust their strategy a bit. I mean, they can't afford another one. Look, we saw what's happened in some of these penalties. I think about the Gold Cup. I mean, I know you and I are kind of, we purists. We'd like to see, the extra time. I don't know. I think we would, you and I, but I understand this tournament too, right? So go right to the penalty kick. So Guatemala's goal right now is to find the goal somewhere, some way. Don't give up one now and try to get to penalties. I mean, obviously you want to win or whatever, but you can't give up another one now if you are. It's easy to say, but I mean, I feel like that's Guatemala knows. Try to get this thing 1-1 somehow, even if we have to sacrifice a whole, 60 minutes of no offense to make sure the U.S. doesn't score here, because of the format.
I still think there's time. I don't think you change your format to them. I still think you kind of play back and you try to hit them on the break. Is probably their best bet. I think U.S. is going to control most of the possession here.
Yeah, that'll work. And that'll work for Guatemala as long as they aren't pressing too forward there. Yeah. Guatemala's just okay with that. That does change the betting strategy a little bit. I mean, I'm on Guatemala and plus 1.5 here. And we're looking at some of the other games here in baseball. And, of course, tonight's late game in soccer with Mexico, and that's played in the Niners Stadium, right? So, boy, that'll be a great crowd. Talk about great crowd. With
yeah, I mean, all the crowds are going to be pretty nice. It is surprising, and I'm actually pretty happy with the FIBA World Cups. As I thought, what would happen as soon as we got out to the first game, and teams saw that, hey, these guys are playing their real squads. We can go see them for $50, and then the ticket sales got a lot better. So that was kind of the big question: is were they going to play their real squad? And most of them have, and it's been nice to watch. Now you get occasional times where you're showing, like obviously you had Dortmund last night play Bellingham's brother, Jovi, and start him up top, and the 19-year-old kid. So some teams are still trying to use this as a, hey, let's get a look of a young player. But for the most part, it's been really, really good squads. As I told, we were looking to go to Philadelphia on Friday to go see Chelsea. So goal. There's the second one.
Goal. It's Loon again. He's your man right now with a second goal here in just a matter of 15 minutes. And that was an earned goal there for sure. Look at that shot.
Yep.
Wow, US.
Came out, nice touches. I mean, you still got to look at Guatemala there for not pressing on that. I mean, they gave all the day. All right. So if you're wondering, this is what my next
Wow.
thing can be. Because he comes through with a lot of space. The guy doesn't close down. He stabs at him. Gets a nice little outside touch. 18 doesn't want to foul. He probably should have.
He was playing Saturday night Guatemalan League defense there.
Right on top of the box. So Luna to score a hat trick is plus 200 if you want to sprinkle.
Wow, Luna.
You could also put that with the no sweat bet if you want. I definitely don't like it for my bets, though. This is too many goals too early. Because they're not going to hold back. Guatemala is now going to come out of their shell. They've got to push forward. This is definitely not what I want for my bets. Oh, so we'll see. Yeah, so let's talk about the big, beautiful bill. And yeah, for most bettors, it won't. But for me, it's something I do kind of look at. And there, especially since I'm a volume guy. So if I can only deduct 90% of my losses, that's a big chunk that I'm missing right there. Being taxed on unrealized, essentially, wins.
Yeah, I don't want to misspeak. I mean, there were some people trying to calm it a little bit, saying, look a little deeper over the, instant rush of the analysis, if you will. And maybe I'm paying too much attention to those that are trying to be the, calm down forces of social media. Maybe there is something to it with those amounts or whatnot. So it does need more analysis from. But unless you want to continue to cover it here, I'm all ears.
I mean, what do you say? I was shocked to see what was in there and share your thoughts. Yeah, I mean, it's day one. Let's see how it comes through for fruition. But yeah, it's definitely so here's what we had that happen when I was away. We had the thing in New Jersey happen, which, was absolutely preposterous. I don't know what you'd bet in New Jersey from on FanDuel perspective. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So FanDuel had a thing where they announced, and some of it was kind of adjusted and say they didn't really change their term of services, but when you actually kind of look at it, they did. There was a baseball home run bet that apparently a bunch of people bet. Some tout gave it.
I do know what you're talking about now. Go ahead, though.
A lot of touts failed. And then they came out and said, well, if we see a parlay out there that everyone's like a mass majority are on, we are only going to pay out the money from the highest bet divided by everyone who took the parlay. And it's kind of like, what? Like, how could you do that? You can't place a bet and me not know what I won. It's really perplexing. Obviously, I don't live in the state of New Jersey, so it's not really affecting me. But what goes in one state, I'm just waiting for the Illinois thing to trickle down into the other states, and that's not going to take too long either. That's probably going to happen in the next 6 months. So lots of things. It seems people are against bettors.
Yeah, I mean, there are other options out there. I don't know what what our channel's like in talking about, offshores in comparison to US, but I think we all need to be more open to, where the betting is taking place and where the fair bookmaking is taking place, because there's always going to be market makers who are going to try to lowball a little bit so they can get their share of the bottom line. I mean, I just think that's going to continue to happen. Looking back at it now, those days of 5 dimes and thegreek.com, and those look like the glory days.
Yeah, Junior said he's on the Angels and Yankees, so that's kind of where we both kind of said. I sit on the Yankees. Ramon sets on the Angels. Oh, if this is not offsides, it's 3-0. It is. Oh, he missed it.
Yeah, he missed it.
It's got to be offsides, though. And they let him run 30. Yeah, that's the part where you're like, okay, you let the play run. But I'm like, if he's clearly offsides, if you can review it by the time he actually takes the shot, you should have called anything. All right, Mister's got 1K already in the first. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, this is unbelievable, and just continues to do it here right now.
Well, I mean, he's so threatening on the mound. He's basically the second coming of Randy Johnson. He doesn't have the same changeup that Johnson had, but for that fastball, the way it comes at him at 6'10" height again is not fun to look at, especially for guys who you're not used to throwing like that. Maybe as time people start to get the book on him, but I mean, 101, 103 is kind of like, yep.
But his slider, compared to the repertoire of when we saw Chase Burns out there get lit up the other night, it does feel like a different quality with Mizorowski right now.
Correct. I'm not as big high on Chase Burns. I don't know why I'm not. I like Bubba Chandler better. I still don't know why the Pirates haven't moved him up yet. So, 2-0 Angels. Good job. They're up 2. Versus the bad Atlanta team. So, yep. All right. So I had this question come up in one of my chats. Who's your all-star American League second baseman?
Oh, okay. I'm just seeing. I mean, what are the announcements? I just saw Machado here is the third baseman in the National League, and I didn't see anything else yet. But you mean just to rank them right now, huh?
Yeah. Who would you rank? Because I've got a buddy he keeps telling me how Jackson Holiday should be an all-star. And I'm saying,
I have the list right here, right now. If you wanted to guess and not know,
I do not know. I do not know.
Go ahead. Don't look, and I'll go ahead and give me your second baseman. And I'm looking. It just came up. I didn't look for it to one up you. It just came across the timeline as official. So go ahead. Don't type it in the chat, anybody. I want to hear what Sean says.
It's not even close. The second baseman should be Brandon Lowe.
Gleyber.
And it should be Brandon Lowe, and if not, it should be Gleyber Torres.
It is Gleyber. Yes. Mm-hmm. You want to hear the starters from the American League, or do you want to look them up?
But do you know Lowe has a better average, more home runs, more RBIs, and more runs than Gleyber Torres? But other than that, somehow he's not the all-star. I mean, but I told guys Brandon Lowe on that ballpark because what you want is a left-handed power hitter. And he's a left-handed power hitter, and playing in that Yankee Stadium 2.0 shows what he would play. I mean, if I were the Yankees, I would highly look at him as a free agent when he comes and basically says he's going to do the same thing in Yankee Stadium. It's the same thing he did. We already know how he's going to. And if the Yankees, you do have a major advantage to look at guys and say, okay, who really hit well in Tampa, because it's the same ballpark. It's the exact same dimension ballpark.
Can I read off the American League starters here?
Yes. Read me off the American League starters.
Cal Raleigh, Vladdy, Gleyber, Jose Ramirez, Jacob Wilson, Aaron Judge, Riley Green, Javier Baez, and Ryan O'Hearn is the designated hitter.
How did Javier Baez make it? He had a good first month. Then he's kind of died. I mean, it's the only you bat 8th in your team. You should not be an all-star if you bat 8th. It just shouldn't be. If you bat below 6, you should not be an all-star because your team doesn't even trust you that much. He's got 285, 9 home runs, and 36 RBIs. That's your all-star. What position is he all-star at? Shortstop?
Outfield.
Outfield?
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be a flat-out joke.
Wilson is the shortstop.
Well, Jacob Wilson, I can see he's batting 339, so he's by far.
This keeps up. I mean, he's all pro.
Yeah, he can't hit the ball really out of the infield, but other than that, I mean, the kid's a tremendous hitter. I had him on one of my fantasy teams, and then was like, he's just not hitting any home runs. He's not going to give me anything, so I'm not going to look at stuff. But I mean, some of those things. Did the people in New York just not bet? I mean, vote? Because you look at those numbers, and if you just want to say outfield, like outfield in the American League, like let's just put the American League. Guys, you should consider Riley Green. We talked about. I have a thing that if you bat under 250, you should never be an all-star. Because if you're mediocre, and if you bat under 250, you better be like leading the league in home runs. Because if you're not doing one of those two things and you're batting under 250, you're a mediocre player. There's nothing about. Byron Buxton has tremendously better numbers than Javi Baez. He's got 19 home runs. He's batting 279. Baez is batting 275. He has more runs. How is he not the all-star?
Hey, Brandon Marsh just hit a home run. It's 3-1. He hit a home run. Amazing, Brandon Marsh. Only against the Padres. Go ahead.
Jason batted around.
Yeah, 5-0 here in the bottom of the first against Warren here. And boy, it's been a bad weekend for the Yanks and great times tonight. If they 7-0 says my man Big Scott there in the chat. They're tied for first if they win this game, right?
Yeah, I guess. Hold 1 second.
Oh, Yankees. Is Will Warren, he's not even out of the game yet, I don't think. All right, I'll cover for Foxy here. And 2-0 here, U.S. over Guatemala. Washington 2-0 over Detroit. But I just saw Marsh hit this home run here, 3-1. Phillies over the Padres, bottom of the fifth right now. So also 1-1 over here. I'm watching the big screen. Twins and Marlins, top of the fourth. Runner at second. Jansen Junk still in there. Dealing.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I got you, brother.
Yep.
Also, a couple other games in progress. Fox mentioned it with Milwaukee and the Mets. Like I said, Brazoban ended up getting the start here. I think he is just basically the opener in that one for Tidwell. Tidwell may need, because on the top of the second now, and Tidwell is in there. So they just wanted to get through the first part there of the lineup there, and Tidwell enters the game. So no score there. And the Angels, you guys mentioned that they're in the chat. Jeff, hi, Jeff. He mentioned it, 2-0 Halos grabbed the lead there in the top of the first. Is that correct there? I gotta fill in my games here. I got on with Sean. I haven't put in all my games yet, but I haven't seen that yet. So I got to catch up to you guys on that one. Believe it, you guys are ahead of me on that one here. Also, we're keeping an eye on. Really bummer, Sean was talking about the women's game. Couldn't they have United States and Canada, and we're just going to have to put it up here against the Guatemala USA game? Guatemala's put it in the net here, but I don't believe it is a goal. I don't think it's a goal right now. Mendez put it in, but I think there's going to be offsides here. I think to see the referee here holding this flag. I just looked up. And it was just going down like this. Oh, yeah, clearly two guys were offsides, actually. Even I could have called this one out there. So, but, you got the USA-Canada friendly here starting now, right now, within the last couple of minutes here. I think if you're looking for that one, I think it's on TNT Peacock combo there. I'll have to find a TV for it. And then Mexico and Colombia are also going at it. Hey, I got to find if that one's even on. But, I mean, that's two of my favorite women's teams right there, especially Colombia. All right. But U.S. leading right now. We're in the 30th minute here currently. But 2 goals by Diego Luna, man. The star with Real Salt Lake, of course. And, in his career, I mean, he hasn't been a big scoring threat, but man, with 2 goals so far in this game, right now, Diego Luna is the biggest star we got going, it feels like here. So, look, if the U.S. can get to the final against Mexico, I mean, I'm not going to say all is fine and dandy with U.S. national team. We're at the hydration break here right now at the 30th minute. So we'll take a moment here at the game, which is, I believe, being played here in Atlanta tonight with USA and Guatemala. And I think later on they're playing the game. The Mexico game will be in Santa Clara, I believe. Let's see if I got that right there. Oh, St. Louis, of course. You guys probably correcting me. St. Louis. It's outdoors. I can clearly see it here. They love their soccer in St. Louis. All right. Guess who is just taking a walk here for the Milwaukee Brewers? Mr. Wood gets yet another walk. Once again, man, he's making a habit of this, and that's what happens. Just don't have anybody else really in this lineup. You don't even have to throw this guy anything here. So always think about that when you're thinking about the year he's having, even the home runs that he's having right now. But, man, he draws a lot of walks. You're just pitching around him. Trey Turner's at second base here for the Phillies currently. And Minnesota has grabbed a run here, 2-1, although the inning is over on a double play ball. But before that, Minnesota was able to grab a run and take a 2-1 lead here in the top of the fourth inning right now. So Twins lead. We're heading to the bottom of the fourth here with Minnesota and Miami. Score is 2-1 currently there. All right. Hey, just hit me up in the chat. Let me know what you're watching and what's going on here tonight with some of our games. We're going to have some games also going off at the top of the hour. The 2 games here anyway, with Baltimore and Texas, with Sugano going up against Eovaldi. Man, you talk about some pitchers who are in pretty good form here right now. I think that's what you could look at with Sugano and Eovaldi. You got Sugano coming in here. Yeah, he's got an ERA of 4, but a 2.70 BABIP, and the Orioles are 10-6 with Sugano. He's kind of given the best stability out there anyway. They seem to get a lot of good run support for him. For Eovaldi, the Rangers are just 6-7 when he pitches, but he's got a 1.87 ERA coming in and a 195 batting average against. We know Texas is the number 1 under team in the league. Baltimore is the number 1 under team on the road this season. So, good look to maybe a pitcher's matchup there. I'm on Texas in that game. It is a little bit of a favorite for sure. Oh my God, a little bit of a favorite. It's up to $1.55. That's a long way from $1. Let's see, what were the openers here? Oh, well, $1.40 or so. I think that's what I was talking about this morning. Let me see what's going on with the lineup here tonight with these two possibly. Is that what's going on here? Also at the top of the hour, a good one here, another good one. Cleveland and the Cubs with Tanner Bybee going up against Shota Imanaga. You heard, I think, Sean talk about Shoto there a little bit. I like the Cubs in this one. Look, these are $1.50 prices. So with Texas and the Cubs, so maybe a little parlay YB and in turn there with that one. But again, 2 good, decent. Although Bybee does have some issues on the road for sure. 3.90 ERA overall and a 1.18 WHIP coming in, but he's just 4-8 this season for Imanaga. The Cubs are 6-3 when he pitches. He's got 2.54 ERA. These pitchers are combined 7-14 to the under this season. The Philadelphia Phillies have added a run here on the Padres. They're taking a 4-1 lead against Dylan Cease. Padres have trouble in Philadelphia, man. It was just moments ago the Phils grabbed another run to extend that lead to 4-1 here with 2 runs now here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Phillies on top of the Padres. 4-1, they resume play after the hydration break in St. Louis between the United States and Guatemala here with a 2-0 score currently in this one. Moved to the bottom of the second. Mizorowski goes out there now for his second inning of work as Milwaukee failed to score 0-0 now in that one. All right. Also, For Washington here, they do have 2 men out right now. Bell is up to the plate against Flaherty, runner at first. But the scene right now we want to go to is Yankees and Toronto. You guys mentioned it with that 7-run outburst there in the first inning. Wow. They lead it 7-0 there. Now they are in the top of the second inning in that ball game. Keep fly out over here currently for Miami, and 2 down now as Stowers flies out to deep left field.
All right, so we talked about Baez somehow making the All-Star team and shouldn't have made the All-Star team. Let's go to did we ever get to second base? Oh, yeah, you said Gleyber Torres. Brandon
Yeah, in fact, we have the National League now if you're ready.
Hold on 1 second. You mentioned someone else, Vladimir Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
Vladimir Guerrero is having an okay season. I mean, I guess he's the only one batting 275. Okay.
And remember, there's still a fan element to this.
Oh, there definitely is. There definitely is. I mean,
just glad he's not as popular as they come still. I mean,
surprising. All because his daddy. All right. So let's go National League. Hit me with the National League, and I'll tell you the guys who shouldn't have made it.
Well, Will Smith is the catcher. Freddie Freeman, Kettle Marte, Francisco Lindor, Manny Machado, Ronald Acuna Jr., Kyle Tucker, Pete Crow Armstrong, and the designated hitter, Shohei Ohtani.
Okay. All right. So I'm looking at something here. Okay, Machado, I can understand. He's got the average in RBIs. He was the one guy I was kind of surprised. That sounded like a more realistic list than there because PCA has been playing really, really well this year. A lot better than I have. I didn't even have him listed as draftable player. But no James Wood. He's got to definitely make it a reserve, right?
Yeah, for sure. I was just, in fact, while you were gone, I did mention Wood because actually he is the one I believe that has scored the 3rd run here when Bell got a hit, but he got on, of course, via walk, and without real protection in that lineup, he's just drawing almost a Barry Bonds-esque number of walks. But it took the league long enough to, I don't want to say catch on. We all know that this guy's got the big talent, but they were just getting tired of him. They were pitching at him. He was hitting home runs. They said, we don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah. All right. The Mizer's got 2 strikeouts in 2 innings. So that's good. Zip. USA has been on their back heels here for the last 5 minutes.
They did put one in on a clear. Guatemala did put one in on a clear off sides, but gave him a little bit of confidence, a little bit there as well. But man, Iglesias just made a terrific play here for the Padres. It was towards the tarp in foul territory with his back to the play. Man, what a spectacular play that was.
All right, so I'm on one more play. Thoughts on it? I'm on the Cubs under first 5 under 4.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did give out my play there just moments ago. I mean, I'm on this favorite with the Cubs, but I like the under in this one, Sean, with Bybee and Imanaga. Even with Bybee's rough road outings here a little bit. Look, Imanaga is going to, kind of make you dig deep, a little deeper here, I think, and we'll keep Bybee engaged here against this, tough Cubs lineup. I'm going to go Cubs and under.
I will give everybody out with my parlay piece. I'm already on a -3.5, and I would take them today, not tomorrow, because I think it's going to be 4.5, 5. I'm in the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tomorrow. Okay. I'll give out a Thursday play there. I really, really like this play. Claris is playing great. Should be able to play. Calgary's, to me, still one of the worst teams in the league. I think they have no issue covering the 3.5. But if you want a quick parlay piece, like if you want to take a Manga's earn runs under, which is a lot of things that you could play on DraftKings. You can't play it on FanDuel. You can play it on DraftKings though. And you could sit there and take that with a Winnipeg money line tomorrow if you don't want to get on that. Well,
I just want to add, Oliveira's missed 2 games, but they haven't missed a beat with Peterson.
Yeah.
I'll check his injury status here.
They've adjusted it. It was 2.5. Now it's 1.5. You can't take it at 1.5. Oh, terrible pass. Here comes Luna, the man of the hour.
I was talking about him a little bit in his time with RSL, and he hasn't been a scorer for this team really, but right now he's the man. Willing to go with this guy to battle here at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to actually get on Tanner BB walks allowed. Oh, I think he's going to get 2. He's going to allow 2 walks today.
Bad boy.
Well, the Cubs are one of the lead leaguers in walks, and BB coming off basically his average is right around 1.8 walks per game. So I'm fine with that. I can take that with my Winnipeg play, and I can get. It'd be nice if I actually took it. Oh, that's because I'm not. I actually took it in one app and then went to the other app to take the other play. That's probably not going to work. All right, so plus 169. I'll do that. I'm fine with that. I'll do that for a half unit.
All right. Oliveira could return to this game. Like I said, Matt Peterson been just fine. Okay, no problem. Matt Peterson has been just fine in stepping in for Oliveira. I mean, it only gives them a 1-2 punch against the Calgary team that isn't going to be able to stop either. If they have both those guys, watch out. I mean, I would think Oliveira and Peterson will form a dangerous tandem. In that running game, we know Oliveira can do it all, but I mean they're just a very versatile position for a team like Winnipeg. I mean, I would think that those 2 guys could outperform guys like Wheatball, like Dembski. I'm not saying that Dembski got off to a slow start. I mean, didn't do anything in the BC game, but I think he was knocked from the game if I'm not mistaken. But he did open the season with that big game against BC, and then had a big game there against Edmonton as well in the 36-23 victory. So Winnipeg tomorrow. Sean's talking about it. They're favored in the game by 3.5, and the total is 51 in that one. All right. And Boston has the first run. Is that right here, or did that already happen? No, it happened the bottom of the second as my man Marcelo Mayer with the RBI. Man, has had a nice little week here after he missed the weekend games due to being on the bereavement list. Came back with his next game and had a double and a single, and here he's got a sacrifice fly to score Rafaela for a 1-0 lead there for the Bo Sox over the Reds. In that one, the Mets. So, man, they're getting to Mizorowski here just now. Just in, man. I believe we might have a grand slam here. I'm looking, and yep, there it is. Jeff said it right there with Nimmo. Took the young man deep, and it's gone. Grand slam for the Mets here with Nimmo taking Mizorowski deep here. It started off with oh gosh, let's see. Man, is this a 2-out? I think this is a 2-out rally actually by the Mets here to get this going. So wow, big doings here for the Mets, taking a big lead here at home at Milwaukee. Mets, and this ain't no joke. They need to win these games here. So Beatty walked, then Mauricio walked, then Shallow single to center by Singer, and then Nimmo deep homer to right field there. And then now I believe Lindor has just gone deep as well here. And I believe it's a 5-0 game, if I'm not mistaken. I'm also watching right now. Detroit has pushed a run across here to make it 3-1 in the top of the 4th inning as Torkelson has knocked in a run here. So Detroit's on the board now, and it's 3-1. So, yeah, we did see just moments ago the home run there by Lindor. So 5-0 now here in this one. The Mets are all over this young pitcher here right now. Okay, also did see finally the Angels here. Maybe my YouTube TV here is I know what it is. You know what? I'm watching on a stream. I have to watch the Angels on one of those quote unquote streaming sites. So I think what's happened is I ended up behind. That's why you guys had those Angels runs ahead of me, and it was Joe Adele. I mean, with this guy in the All-Star game, he's had a monster week, Joe Adele, and he was the one that drove in those runs back in the top of the 1st inning. I gotta refresh this, you guys. I'm like a half an inning behind in the Angels game because, well, that's sometimes you get the streaming and you get the. I have to stream the teams from Southern California here in Las Vegas. We get the Angels, we get the Giants and the A's as our kind of our local teams. We get the Bay Area channel, the NBC Bay Area, and we get the games there. And of course, I'm on the Major League Baseball package. But for the Angels, the Dodgers, and the Padres, I got to go to one of those sites, to watch it. So, all right. And so 2-0 Angels here right now, giving Kikuchi a little bit. And I said I'm on the Angels there and the over in that one. Okay, also, just we're going to get the 10-minute warning here in just a minute when our 2 8:05 games start with Baltimore and Texas. Man, DraftKings now has Baltimore up there at $1.63 in this game. Let me see if I can't pull some props here while Sean's gone. Maybe I'll whisper a few props in some of these games and see what I've got with our 2 8:05 starts. In the bottom of the hour, it'll be Hunter Brown time as the Astros take on Austin Gomber in the Rockies. Yeah, it's a mismatch. Rockies are plus 250 here. Yeah, maybe plus 225 or so. They did take a little bit of action here. I saw Houston earlier as high as 275. They're 280 at Bovada. They're 281 at DraftKings. So, hey, that's a little bit steep. Come on, we saw the Rockies last night. Houston couldn't cover the run line on them last night. Gave up an obvious run there with no concentration in the bottom of the 9th inning, and then final score was 6-5. We were making fun of it there that the under the 11.5 in that game was never in question, and now they have it down to 10.5 today. So Jeff said in the chat, thanks Jeff, good to see you again. But he had to fade Mizorowski in this one. I ended up taking him late for not a very strong play, but I gave him out and bet him after the show on the happy hour, and I went ahead and took Milwaukee here as a slight favorite. Just as the Mets, when they switched to their opener, Brazoban, I don't know if that's not the reason why, but it did look like a little bit of, they wanted to get Tidwell to start here in the 2nd inning, and hey, maybe it is working out for them at this point with 5-0 lead, Sean, for the Mets right now.
What?
Yep. Grand slam by Nimmo. There followed by solo shot by Frankie.
That's not what I want to say.
And Detroit got a run, 3-1 right now. Here, Boston took the 1-0 lead over Nick Martinez. I guess Nick Martinez ain't throwing a no-hitter tonight, like he almost did last week against my Padres.
Oh, Minnesota's up 1, so that's good.
Yeah, they were able to grab a run there in the last inning to take the lead. We had talked about it here with the Correa with a base hit to knock in Castro there in the top of the fourth.
Did you take anything on this Orioles game?
Yeah, I just can't not take the under. I mean, you've got the number one under team in the league against the number one road under team in the league, and Sagano, he's got a 4 ERA now. It keeps going up a little bit, but he keeps them in their games, and I think he is. We are still talking about the 3-time Central League MVP here. I know he's in his mid-30s, but Eovaldi's really the guy who's had the great numbers this year so far, right? Doing a great job. So I went to Texas and under.
Okay. It's kind of over there. I was going to take Texas and Winnipeg. Just loading up on Winnipeg tomorrow.
Well, and again, I mean, both I was talking Texas and the Cubs are both $1.50 favorites or even higher now. And so they're pretty public-y for sure. I don't know if I want to go full unit anymore. I mean, I'm on them. Don't get me wrong. I played them here, but it does feel like more of a, quote unquote parlay piece. I got no problem with betting some parlays here. Hey, Fernando. Women's game. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, U.S. almost concedes right off the draw here. So, yep. The face-off comes through. Had a nice one-on-one with the keeper candidate. Didn't get a bye, though.
Okay, man. I was saying on the oh man, what are they doing playing? Do they really have to schedule that game right up against the men's game here? I know it's on TNT, I think here, the USA Canada game, and I do see now. I hope this works. Mexico Colombia women on YouTube. Here it says. I hope it works. Because I couldn't find one now on flash score here. It says that the game is on YouTube. That'd be great if I could watch Colombia women's soccer against Mexico on. Oh, this is a great feed, Sean. Mexico and Colombia. I'm gonna use one of my computers here for this game for sure. I don't need a tweet deck on 3 different computers right now. All the free agency's done. So I'll just one tweet deck open. I'm going to watch my favorite women. Just, I'm talking about Colombia women's team. Don't get me wrong. U.S. is number one in my hearts, but I like watching Colombia and Mexico.
All right. And do you have anything on Houston and the Rockies?
Well, I did go with the under. I mean, you got to figure Brown. Now, they just did barely stay under yesterday, even though the Rockies got that run at the bottom of the 9th inning to make it 6-5, and it was 11.5. I figure today's game is probably going to be 6-4 or so, maybe with Houston there. Now the total's down to 10.5. So I did take the under in that game. The thing was, Houston got steamed in that price. I mean, the 275's out there right now, and I don't know if I want to go run line, especially after what I saw last night. They were ahead 6-4. Houston didn't really, Colorado got a run on the bottom of the 9th. It didn't even seem like it bothered Houston.
But Hunter Brown is so good.
He is good, man. He's good.
He's been absolutely a stud.
Yeah, and Houston's starting to get away, Sean, from the rest of the division.
Yeah.
Look at, and I'll look again here, but last week when they were just starting to pull away their odds to win the pennant still. I mean, granted, look, I mean the Yankees. I'm not going to say, but look, the Yankees are obviously having massive struggles, right? I mean, why couldn't Houston be okay going up against the front runners in the American League?
USA almost scored again. Women.
They did, and look who it was. Oh no, they're showing the Luna. Oh, I'm sorry, they're showing the Luna replay. Anyways, Sean, right now Houston to win the pennant is 4-1. I mean, behind Detroit, behind Yankees, obviously, but it was higher last week. I must tell you. You know.
I mean, I still think they have better pitching than the Yankees. But the Yankees are still. We'll see what the Yankee staff is by the time the playoffs come around. They always have the ability to go out and get players.
Halftime in St. Louis with that 2-0 United States lead.
Yeah. I'm glad that stayed at 2. I'm glad that stayed at 2. We can get 1 goal in the second half and be perfectly fine with it. I'm trying to look at this USA thing if there's anything.
I was hoping the YouTube 4-way would have or the 2-way would have the women's game and the men's game together, but they're not smart enough for that.
No, but I don't think they're smart enough on any scheduling when it takes the women's. I just really don't think they really care. I mean, you look at the WNBA scheduler, whoever that should be fired every year. It is the dumbest schedule you have ever seen for a game that you're trying to get people to watch. So in games where you have a holiday, they schedule no games. In games where you have a break, you had this game 7 on Sunday. On Saturday, should have been a pack load of WNBA games. People who wanted basketball. Instead, you scheduled 1 game. 1 game.
No, at least we know tomorrow there's 5 games, and we're going to make Sean make some picks.
But they're all at the same time. They're all at the same time. It's like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Let's schedule all 5 games all in the same mess and just say, okay, like women's game can't start at 6. Why can't a women's game start at 6 and a baseball game can? I mean,
all right.
I know we're going to drive.
Sean pick one at the 7 o'clock hour and the 8 o'clock hour. Sean, just moments ago, the bases were loaded for the Tigers, and you know who was up? It was all-star Javi Baez, and he chased a curveball in the dirt, strikes out, inning over, 3-1 in Washington. Go to the bottom of the court.
In a month. I mean, he bats 8th on his team. The fact that he's an all-star is an absolute joke. But in his last week, he's 2 for 12. Before that, he had a good, nice start, but he played Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. But, I mean, he hit 2 home runs with Pittsburgh. So since the beginning of June, he's hit 3 home runs. 2 came in 1 game. I mean, he has 9 for the year. That's a joke. Lyle's got double the number of home runs, double the number of RBIs, and has a higher average. And if you want to talk outfield, Byron Buxton has more runs, more home runs, and a better average. And RBIs. You can't bat 8th and make the all-star team. There should be a rule. Look, if your team doesn't trust you really to get at bats, how are you an all-star?
Hey, in the chat, Don Play says, you think the Yankees can get 3 runs today in this game now that they're down 3-0? Does it make it a little bit easier here, Barrios? I don't know. Usually it's actually kind of interesting when he gets a big lead. He actually kind of toughens up a little bit and keeps going. But Don, looks like Don's got over than that team total there. So Sean we're already here right now in the top of the 3rd inning, and of course down 7-0. The Yankees here, can they get some runs? I mean, Barrios is going to be, he's got this big lead here.
I need to watch some of the game before I would bet this. I want to see how high Barrios is on. I'm looking more at this over 2.5, minus 150. I don't like giving out a minus 150, but again, I would take this with Winnipeg. From what I've seen in this USA women's game, both teams are getting their chances really early, and they're high-quality chances. I don't see this being a 1-0 game. I could see 2-1. I could see 3-0. But I actually took the both teams to score too. If you just want to take that, it's plus 100. Canada's had 2 open shots already at the goalie. Came on the run of play, which was kind of interesting to see. You can't always account for that, but they're keeping nice possession. They're getting nice passes in the middle. Here they got one. Oh, that's a terrible call. I don't think that was offsides. I think the linesman had that wrong. I want to look at that. All right. Mizorowski's still in there. Let's see if he can get it going here. He's got one out, one hit given up here. Come on, Mizer. How many pitches do you have? 63. That's not good in the third. That's not good. We're not looking for 63.
A little bit. Mookie will be in the lineup tonight. Right. He was questionable a bit. Go ahead.
Big Scott's got a Wimbledon question for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, Opelka, we know what kind of matches he's going to be in, right, Sean? I mean, with his serve game, and it does play well on the grass, as Scott said there. So Opelka and Nakashima. Let me see if I can't come up with a look at my ratings a little bit early here, and see what we got. So it should be a great day, another great day of 32 more matches tomorrow. Man, I had a great day yesterday, and today it was about 50-50, it felt like, and I had a couple of the late matches get suspended. I could have used a couple more winners, I think, here tonight, but looking forward to tomorrow's another big card like these early round matchups, and I'll check into it right away. But, man, these are some nice matchups tomorrow.
Yeah, I got Jordan Thompson. I lost Ethan Quinn. I hit Mertens, but took that on a parlay. Took that with Osaki over, and that was terrible.
I had Mertens today as well, but disappointed with some of the. And hey, how about my guy Ollie Tarvett from Great Britain? He was a guy. He's at the University of San Diego right now. He's from Great Britain, of course, and hey, he lost to Carlos today. 6-1, 6-4, 6-4. That was a pretty good performance. He definitely covered the game spread. Did my man Ollie Tarvett from the University of San Diego. He won his first round match and gave Carlos. He covered the spread, Sean.
Yeah, I got Christian Guerin with 5.5 there. Got them with the Twins. Got Guerin on the money line. Arthur Ferry, I need him to really come back for a comeback for the ages. Doesn't look good. Down 2 sets. So I got Lloyd Harris in. I got the over in for her on him earlier with Rublev. So they're cashing off. I bet live. When I woke up, she was already down a set. So I was able to get that. She won a tight tiebreaker in the second and then kind of faltered again in the third, so it kind of felt like a bad bet. Could have got back on it, and I didn't. But she won the 4th and 5th, so that was good. So he won the 4th. I always think Kashanoff is a woman. I don't know why. It's just probably the name Karen Kashanoff. So
yeah, well, and sometimes it's I don't know. You say we shouldn't say it. I was going to say sometimes he's going to act like act a little soft out. Like a little. He's a bitch. Okay, did I say it? Hi to Perky in the chat. Hello, Perk. Great to see you, Perky. He says, cheers, Yankees. Wow, need the Cubs also. Maybe tomorrow. Big Scott also says Monfils tomorrow. He wants to get the fade train going tomorrow with the Monfils match against one of your favorites, Pusovic.
Okay, I can see that. Man, it's kind of. Have you taken any futures? The upsets.
Well, look, I mean, yeah, impossible to do anything on the men's side, right? I mean, if you don't have Sinner and Carlos, you're just grasping at straws, right?
And you're not doing anything on the men's side.
But I think the women's side, you could definitely mix it up a little bit, right? Even right now, even here in the second round, I think you could take. I think you take some shots here. You know what? It does feel like Sabalenka mentally, though, does. I mean, when she's telling. Some of these other players that they have to check in their mental game. I have to think she's running pretty good right now. Here, I know anything can happen on the grass. I mean, even Emma won today. I don't think I'm not saying she's going to duplicate winning anything, but I
I do have a play of the future there. I took it beforehand, but I'd take it again there. I like Madison Keys. I think she's got a really good chance to win this, or at least make it to the finals. And she had her one stumble. I think she'll bounce back from that, which she has. She's been playing really good tennis. I think she has a really good chance to reach the finals, and you can get her on a pretty decent number to make the quarters. So that's kind of the one thing I would look at there, because I mean, you're just waiting for Iga to fall apart. It's going to happen eventually.
Well, she's not. I mean, it's just too many slip ups time and time again between any type of success she has. Don't get me wrong. I guess she could win but so could several other. It's not like we're hunting for Iga at this point. She's just another contender, is what it feels like to me right now.
Yeah.
Big Scott, I'm with you. Big Scott, I'll do it. Let's do it. Let's go with Fuchsovich. Fuchsovich, you know his name. I just call him Fuxovich, but I'm willing to do it tomorrow. He's a slight favorite. I think about $1.15 over Monfils. And let's do it, Big Scott. You're taking it there, and I'm taking it with you. I'm not blaming you. I'm taking responsibility, but I'm with you. Let's do it. Let's go against Monfils tomorrow with Martin Fuchsovich.
Yeah, best number, what, minus 125 I see on DraftKings.
Oh, okay. I'm showing 114 at Bookmaker right now, 115 at BetMGM. So, yeah, okay. But still, just a slight favorite for sure. And
what I like taking with Monfils, I like taking the over. He always seems to be good enough to at least play long, drawn-out matches.
Toronto got another run, up 8-0 here for Will Warren. They're letting him eat this one a little bit, still in there, as Jimenez had a base hit, knocking in a run.
So like the over 40.5. There's the second goal, maybe.
Okay, I'm behind you here. Is it talking about the women? Yeah, off the corner. Yeah. I'd see it right now. Corner and a header. I mean, why would it not? It looked pretty good to me. What happened? Looked like a terrific.
It's a goal. The ref originally looked like he pointed to the spot, but then came back. Yep. 2-0 US.
Hutton. It's Hutton with the header. Goal there for the US in the friendly against Canada on a really nice corner kick, actually. And player wasn't marked, so she got good elevation there. And the goal.
Yeah, she's got 0 goals in the NWSL. And she has 8 goals in her lifetime for the U.S. women's team.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I know just looking, I know she's a young player. I don't even think she's 21 years old yet.
No, she's 19.
She's 19. Okay. And
she's 19. That's why that's why the NWSL, she's still playing good minutes in the NWSL because she's got potential. But she's scored in 23 in the Pan Am games. That'll be a lower level tournament. And then she scored in the under U17 is the last goal she scored. So in placing regular girls with no age stipulation, this is her first goal ever.
Oh, great. I know she plays on Kansas City. I watched that league carefully. I do bet it. I don't offer any public picks on that league. I just don't know if there's a lot of support, but since my city, San Diego has a pretty good entry in that league, despite a crummy year last year, I follow and bet that league pretty closely. But I don't know.
My over 2.5, so that's looking good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, NWSL oddly, it's on CBS. It's on probably just as much as the WNBA is. Wait and see if the men's are back. The men is back, so I'll switch over.
Yeah, because we'll get to halftime of this one, and that's what I did too, because I wanted on my main big screen here for me to watch.
Great play.
But probably time to get back to the men's game here. They'll probably take care of Canada. Canada here right now. Was that a penalty in the box? No, they'll let it slide. It's 2-0. Just let it slide. And those 8:05 starts are underway, Sean, with Baltimore and Texas here. Runner on for Baltimore early, and Cleveland and Chicago getting underway as well. So that sets us up here at the bottom of the hour for that next start with Houston and Colorado. And then the 3 late starts tonight. My Padres are looking pretty weak here again. They just struggle with this Philadelphia team. Might get swept out of here today, down 4-1.
All right, so I am on the Colorado Rockies under 9.5 again for the month. I am riding this the dog till it bites us. It already bit us last year. Yeah. So they got 10 wins last month. Do you know how they got their 10th win?
Extra innings.
Extra innings on Sunday with no game on Monday. Down 2-0 going into the top of the 8th and scored 1 run. So it's 2-1. Then you went into the top of the 9th. Scored 1 run. So now it's tied. It's going to extra innings. So now it goes to the 10th. They score 1 run. Milwaukee scores 1 run. Now we go into the 11th. They score 1 run. And Milwaukee doesn't score 1 run. But to lose in the bottom of the 8th, a chance where they were going to be swept. I even told Holden, I said, we had 2 units on this. I said, I would go into the game and I would hedge a little. You're getting plus money on the Rockies to win the game. I mean, you're getting even money if you wanted to take plus 1.5 and try to go for the old middle here. But I was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Took the 1.5. Fortunately, I got really greedy. I took the 1.5 with the Minnesota Lynx winning the Commissioner's Cup. So that worked out great.
On the money line here, brother. I'm talking about the Fever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it was the Fever played defense that game. Now, granted, the ref allowed them to play a really physical game. Where you could say the fix was in, they were trying to give the Fever every chance to stay in that game. They allowed them to play really, really physical. And I do wonder if Clark was in there. From a scoring perspective, they would have been better, but she hasn't been shooting well. But from a defensive standpoint, they would have been worse. I do find it hilarious that the league voted her 9th best player in the league. And Boston, the 8th best player in the league. That's just kind of comical. Still made the All-Star team because the fan voted her 1.3 million. What do you think of Sophie Cunningham's comments on the expansion?
I don't think they were as far off as everyone wants to make it. I will say this about the expansion selection. They did go to 2 cities that have already had teams. Now, I know in leagues we do want to replace teams that left because of other extenuating circumstances, like those teams were many years ago when this league was struggling and they were just looking a place to put them. So that makes sense. But you put all 3 teams there in the Northeast corridor. Yeah, I know we just got Golden State. We just got Portland. Okay, I get that. And we got Toronto coming in. So you're bringing back 2 of the 3 markets so that did not support or for other reasons, the team was moved out of those cities. So other than that, though, yeah, it's going to attract some attention for sure and be a little bit of controversy there. Probably not the best thing to say, but I enjoyed the Instagram feed of the locker room celebration there. The ladies getting down.
Yeah, they acted like they won the championship. I mean,
which is probably of course they did, Sean. It's a 50 grand.
Yeah, it's 50 grand for them. So yeah, it's definitely a good there. But I mean, Clark makes that pennies on that on her door.
That's right. But she's the only one that and some of the, but that's not. I mean, she's on a different level. These others, anyways, I know, but yeah, that was funny. But yeah, we were on them, man. We were on Fever and under in that for sure.
But don't you think eventually an NBA team, a women's team, if they're going to live stream the locker room celebration, someone's going to get in trouble by doing something stupid?
Well, already we're going to give her a little. You saw the beginning of it, right? Where they were going to do a little fun there. But hey, that's it's Instagram. Okay, that's what we do. We have fun there. But look, I think it just shows the Fever. This 8-8 start or whatever you want to call it, they're better than that, and they'll be fine. But you talk about that the voting there by the players. I mean, it still continues to amaze me because you're going to need her representation in that room when the collective bargaining agreement comes up, and she's not going to not support them. They can talk as much as they want, and they can say whatever they want, and she is still going to go to bat for the entire league and put the league on her back when they go to negotiate those contracts. Because you see people talking about in the chat room, well, this league has lost money every year, but now if you go and take the valuation of all the teams, you could pay all the debt that the league has run up by adding all of it together, if you know what I mean.
Correct. And that's why they're expanding, because they're getting these giant fat fees. Now you have Sate Sabali going, well, the players need to be taken care of. And it was like, well, that's how you take care of the players. You get out of this 13-team league and you get into like 18 teams. Now, I question what the quality is going to be for 18 teams, but it'll be interesting to see. I did think it was a little interesting where they used Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia, where, to me, the team that makes the most sense, if you're going to talk about a women's game, the two hotbeds for the women's game is in two places.
All right. I said one last night. I don't think it's going to be one of yours, but I think you will concede that maybe I have one, and I think I'm going to agree with at least one, if not both of yours.
Okay. The hotbed is going to, for the women's game, is Tennessee. Going through the 80s, Tennessee women's basketball had their own following. And then, that's the reason why Connecticut has a team, because of UConn.
Oh, absolutely.
And then the other hotbed is South Carolina. The only problem is South Carolina does not have a city anywhere that you could have to really have a big team. I mean, if you wanted, I guess, small market put in Columbia, I don't think that would make sense.
I think they would fill up, though. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It just, you wonder how much money could be there as far as endorsements, advertising, those kind of things from the club wise to make money there. But to me, and you can't put one in, the only place you can put it in Tennessee is Nashville. But to me, it'd make more sense to just stick it in Memphis. Stick it in Memphis, have them play the same place the Grizzlies play, or on the Grizzlies practice squad, and sit there and there. I think both those teams would draw flies. The Connecticut Sun is going to move because no one wants to play in Connecticut. The issue I had with Sophie Cunningham when she said, well, nope, none of the girls want to go to those cities. And I went, who cares? You don't really get your choice to sit there and say it's not supposed to be glitzy glammy, as you guys sometimes get more excited about walking into the game than playing the game to do your own fashion show. That's the part that sometimes just kind of irks me. I was like, okay, you should be happy to play in Cleveland, happy to play in Detroit. And I wanted to come back with her and and everyone's so excited to play in Indiana. Oh, good chance there. Cross into the
team.
Yeah. We had a direct header right on the net for Agmiyang, who so far the only thing I could see in this guy's skills is he's really tall and he can head the ball. So
yeah, that's what I said. In the middle. That's what I said too. So I can't add it. I said Columbia, South Carolina would be a target for me as well. And,
He's been
can't
pulled.
help but think about the great support of women's basketball in Tennessee. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand why they're not going to Tennessee. I definitely understand. The other place, you want to say Houston, San Antonio, both of those places failed. They
Fail.
won titles, but they failed. Yeah.
Fail. Houston won. Yeah, Houston did win those. They might support them. They probably would support them again. There was a big push to bring them back, but these other cities had won out.
Back-to-back homers for Cleveland. The Yankees are going to finish in third place. I don't think they'll finish in third place. The question is, what is the trade that the Yankees make? So if you're the Yankees, okay, obviously Austin Wells being on the DL, it's kind of giving you short for the catcher. Where's the upgrade that you try to make? I mean, pitching wise, Max Fried's been great. To me, Will Warren hasn't been. Stroman hasn't been. You're still waiting on Garrett Cole. When's Cole expected back?
I thought that was. Let me get it for you.
July.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see here.
Is he pitching yet?
Okay. Right now, what his status is here. No, he's not planning to resume throwing until August, and still was puts him on a timeline for maybe the start of the season.
Okay, so he's done for the year. Luis Heel, last year's Rookie of the Year, was July, but I thought it got pushed back because he had further issues.
Just doesn't feel like this team has the right resources, right? Nobody wants some of the types of these players that the Yankees would try to offer up, I would think.
Yeah, but what they'll do is they'll grab guys who teams want to cut from because they don't want to pay them. Because if you're not going to compete and you're paying a giant salary to somebody, that's what they're always willing to do is because there's no salary cap, there's no matching contracts that you have to do in Major League Baseball. You'll just sit there and look at a team that's not in contention anymore, that has a big contract and for example, let's just say the Diamondbacks drop out of this. Eugenio Suarez, Lourdes Gurriel, those type of guys all become, hey, we can get you for pennies on the dollar. Some of these guys just so we don't have to pay their contract. And look at the Orioles. The Orioles could be guys who've been selling. They don't have a lot of big contracts is the only thing that's in their things. Or look at the Royals. The Royals are 40 and 46. There's some guys they paid expecting them to be a much better team, and they're not. I would keep an eye, I've told Nathan Eovaldi. Nathan Eovaldi on the Texas Rangers could be a guy that's dealt because he's having a tremendous year. You could get a big haul for him, and they don't look to be making the playoffs.
No, you're gonna have to give one of the. You have to give it. If you're the Rangers, you're still gonna look to try to get hot here. I mean, nobody's dead yet, but it does feel like right now. I mean, you gotta pass. Not only you gotta have a turn the record around a little bit, you gotta pass some teams still too. So, Sean, really bummer here last inning for the Marlins. I don't know if you caught this. So my man Stowers, base hit, a runner at second base, line drive up the middle. It's going to be a base hit and score the run from second base, except it glanced off the umpire's leg for a single, put the runner back at second base, no advance. One of the worst rules in sports there. But base hit, but they didn't capitalize because of that. Bummer.
I was happy to see Kyle Stowers has actually so far turned into a decent player.
Oh, yeah.
Norby, not so much, but Kyle Stowers has.
Another one the Orioles would probably like to still have maybe. 3-1. Yeah.
Remember, you had to give up something to get something. So let's see what Agni Yang does right here. He's got some long strides. Stanley's fast. He doesn't look like he's moving that mash, right? He's just so damn tall. How tall is this kid?
Good recovery there because he left that other defender in the dust.
Yeah, it didn't even look like he was running. I mean, it really didn't. I wonder how big this guy is.
A little corner kick here, 67th minute. In the U.S.
I will say I've watched a bunch of Charlotte games that I've never seen this kid get the field. All right, so he's 6'4". Yeah, he's 24 years old. This is his 11th cap.
Troy with another threat here, but 2 outs, runners at the corners. Manny's down on strikes, 5-1 Phillies, cruising here in the middle of the 8th inning. The U.S. had to reset it a little bit after that. Yeah, we're getting the 10-minute warning here for our 5:40 game right now. Astros, Rockies. Base hit, Detroit. 1 run will score. Here comes the other throw to the plate. He is out. Trying to stretch it and tie it here, but gun down at the plate to end the inning. And maybe, I don't think he ran. I think they were sending him, but just a good throw and a good play, easily out at the plate. Had no path to get there. 3-2 though. Tigers do pick up a run, but was still here now in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, Fernando, I'm not saying it's not early, but as you start to get to July, you have the trade deadline in 3 weeks. You have plenty of teams that will trade out high price value. And when they do, that's where the Yankees generally come up and grab them. And just because they can afford the salaries. So Lewis Hill is supposed to throw 35 pitches this week. So he is expected back in the next couple of weeks. I think you have some age issues right now with the Yankees. And if Judge isn't getting pitched to, the rest of the guys, you don't care.
So Rufus Peabody, one of the most influential guys on X when it comes to kind of the things you're talking about with the Big Bill, kind of breaking it down, says, yeah, no, everything that you read is right. Everything kind of Sean was saying still should hold true, for those net losers that you talked about.
Yes.
Cool. Second half cooling breaks underway here in the U.S. game right now.
Yeah, so your biggest thing is if you're a big bettor, basically I'll just give it down. You can only do 90% of your losses. So if you finish the even, let's just say you finished 100 grand and 100 grand. You can only deduct 90 grand. So you're going to pay taxes on $10,000 of unrealized wins. Let's say you finish the other way. 100,000, 90,000, it's 110,000, 100,000. You now sit there and pay 20,000 on actual 10,000s of wins. So some things to look forward to, and kind of I'll have to discuss by 2026. That's the one thing I got to look. When does this take into effect? Is it 2025 or is it 2026?
Well, no, well, it's a big, beautiful bill. You know, I mean, it probably. This is the biggest bill. Some say it might be the biggest bill.
But typically, when they had the tax, quite frankly, I don't like big beautiful bills. I'll flat out tell you that right now. I think you should have one bill, one thing. There gets accomplished. One bill, what this stuff where you just throw in pork all over the place is the worst thing ever that Congress does. Let's tackle one thing and let's go through it, and that's it. But so much compromise and so much crap.
Well, remember, some of the sports betting, the poker legislation back. Remember with the flipping it in there in the middle of the night that put everybody into it.
Yeah. The guy threw that into a bill that had nothing to do at all with the poker.
The port security bill? You mean port security doesn't have anything to do with gambling?
No. But I was surprised. They were like, well, Vegas attendance is down. No shit, because you can bet everywhere now, for the most part. It'll be interesting to see what the casinos think of it, too. Or did they going to get some kind of break to go to Vegas? It's also interesting to see that the sport exchanges are exempt from this bill.
Do you mean the sites that do the peer-to-peer betting exchange?
That is correct. They are not listed as a gambling entity, so therefore they are not.
Well, therefore, like the Kalshi, be sure. I can't really break this news yet, Sean, because I haven't really finalized it. But this is half-breaking news. I'm going to start a stream that talks just about the latest bets on the sites like Kalshi, where we can go over and analyze. You'd be perfect for this. I mean, come on. We got
Kalshi's very interesting because this is the one thing where people are wondering if this is.
Well, here you go. Here's the question right now that Sean has just posed, and now we can bet on Kalshi. When will the budget reconciliation bill become law? Before March or before March of 2025 or no, right? Or before? Well, it has to be before.
I'll bet the no on March 2025 since we're in July.
Well, this must have been open.
It was the first thing.
Find something a little newer on that, huh?
Yeah. So the Kalshi. Well, I mean, I think all they did is just add the next extra date. So contracts and all those things are not considered there, and that's what this is considered.
Okay, so we're going to do a whole show on some of these things. That's what we'll do. Okay, we'll do a whole Kalshi show. How about New York mayor?
The new New York mayor is going to be the biggest. We have not seen. I'll just say it because you guys don't hear me say it. The fuckery that's going to happen essentially with the new New York mayor.
He's 72% on the Kalshi, Eric Adams 22, and you don't see Cuomo on that list here. Maybe I do. No. Maybe he's a 5% now.
A known socialist is going to be the mayor of New York. This is going to be very interesting. So this is just going to be get your popcorn ready. All right. Yeah, the Cubs game. Sorry, I apologize. I thought
no problem. We're trying to recruit you for my Kalshi betting show. No sports allowed, though. It's going to be all the other stuff.
Well, I mean, the one thing when you look at the Kalshi, and this is the one thing where people talk about the big, beautiful bill, and I hate to get into politics, but this is where you have a conflict of interest where you have Donald Trump Jr. owns 45% of Kalshi.
I thought you were going to say, will more sports betting take place on these type of exchanges?
Correct, because they're going to be exempt from the law. It's going to be either people are going to go offshores or they're going to go to the exchanges there. I mean, even Robinhood is up their bets. They're talking about doing it more than they just did for the finals and stuff like that. Their contracts.
I Stock reaches a new high every day right now, does Robinhood, Sean.
Yep. All right, Luna comes off for the U.S., so no hat trick. He is done today. No hat trick for Luna. He is done. Detroit, we talked about, is 2-3. Let's get back into actual sports here. We can stop talking about crap.
Well, I hope you're not mad. I think I might have canceled last week's show when there was one game on Thursday night, and Holden sent a message and said, "What's going on tonight?" I said, "Well, we've got one baseball game and the second day of the draft." And he's like, "That's it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's really it, honestly." So we didn't go on the air either Wednesday or Thursday. I think just wasn't enough sports.
Yeah, I mean, it does that. We have baseball today. And I mean, tomorrow we'll have CFL, which will be really nice. We'll have some WNBA. We'll have some baseball. Right. The girls will be back from their mini break. Maybe they'll come back with a renewed sense.
Well, we got the 5 games if you're ready. I mean, I don't want to miss anything going on here. Yankees did score 3 runs right now. So there it is. Hey, who was saying I need 3 runs from the Yankees in the chat?
Yes, one of the guys needed 3 runs. Well, the Yankees scored 3 runs, and he took it, and the Yankees got 3, and they're not done. They got 2 men on, so
okay.
Who knows?
But if you wanted to, we do have the 5-game card tomorrow, and we've already seen a little bit of movement in some of these lines. Not really related to the status of Clark, but the Aces have been one of the biggest movers. I think because we've now confirmed that it's going to be a few more games for Clark. Also, Seattle's been on the move on the road against Atlanta in one of the good games of the night.
Well, I mean, you had Seattle throw an absolute wrench in last week, an absolute stinker in their last game to end the month of June when they played the Valkyries. In a game where you looked like I try to do my standings. Like when you look at it, you say, who's your standings? Who's the number 1 team? The number 1 team for me for the while has been the Lynx. Number 2 team's been the Liberty. I still put the Liberty because Jonquel Jones will eventually come back. Right now, they're not the number 2 team without Jonquel Jones, but with Jonquel Jones, they're the number 2 team. They may be number 1. Number 3 I have is the Mercury. I had the Storm at 4, but after that stinker and the way Atlanta's played a couple games, and again, Atlanta's on paper, they have everything that you want from a basketball team. They've got a dynamic scorer if they need to. They've got a consistent outside shooter. They've got low post presence that can score whatever it wants to versus pretty much any other team. They've got a couple good bench players that can have. It's just sometimes they just don't play any defense. There's the goal for Guatemala, 2-1.
There it is, and look, I think that'll 80th minute right now, Sean. Feels like this is gonna do. Feels like this will be maybe they'll gamble. I mean, obviously you can't do anything with a loss, so I guess there's always a chance that US gets some interesting counter here. But yeah.
So my question is, where do I stack the Dream, Storm, and forgive me for saying because I already lost my bet. Basically, the Valkyries and the Aces and Fever. So those are your top 5. That's the question. Because the bottom 3, we're still going to say, is the Sun, the Wings, the Sparks, the Sky, and then the Mystics. And then your question is, what is the next 5? So where do you stack them? I mean, I'm trying to stop betting on some of those teams. Some of those players are really, really pissing me off. I don't know if it's more games this year. I don't know if they're more upset. Some of those things, I'm just going with the more sure things. Like the only bet I've made for tomorrow is I bet Sabrina Ionescu over 3.5 rebounds.
Well, look, the Fever to me, I still want to think that I'm still liking them. Okay. But look, give the league credit, right? I mean, there's some, and look, the Aces, they're favored in that game. If you want to compare a game right now, this is one kind of maybe where you're going to separate 2 teams, right? You got the Aces, actually a road favorite. No Clark, I get that. But we just saw what they had happen. Now, I'm not going to take the popular social media position today. Oh, see, without Clark, they won the game convincingly. Oh, no. You're going to want Clark in there. She'll make them even better when she returns. So, but they are 2-point dogs tomorrow, Sean. They're 2-point dogs in that game, are the Fever, to an Aces team that can't do much of any. They're 6-10 against the spread.
Yeah, I get 100%. I get what you're saying. I mean, to me, an Aces team, again, we talk about their ability to win games that they shouldn't have won, where you go through it and where they beat the Mercury. That's a very nice win for them, especially since they were trailing almost the entire game, and then come back and win.
It's a little bit of a chance there. Go ahead.
Yeah, right on the doorstep there. Just couldn't get it in. So it was just kind of trying to figure out.
Did you want me to, answer the question, or because I don't know if I have the?
You can answer the question of whether I trust you.
I mean, I still think. I mean, look, Cardoso missed a couple of games. I don't want to say Chicago's going to turn around or anything, but they're not woeful like they were a couple of those games. In fact, seems like they've figured it out a little bit. It seemed like they said, you know what, let's stop relying on just being defensive. Let's get out there, even though we might not have the most athletic team in the league. This is women's basketball. Let's let Cardoso, before she made the break, I mean, she had a career high 27 points in that win that they had before she left for a couple of games. And they still performed well. Didn't they win without her? They played great without her. And
they did. Angel had the game of her life.
And she's had and she's almost had the best month. It feels like, put the me bounds aside, she's been an all-star the last month.
I don't think she's been an all-star all year, but I do think I think she's played really, really well. I mean, I give her credit that she has definitely played well, but I don't. The fact when they just throw her in the all-star team because she gets there, U.S. gets a terrible foul here. Going to be a free kick and a nice position here.
She's played her best basketball, then I'll say.
That? She has. She's played well. She's got through now. Again, she hasn't played any of those games which had a legitimate size to play against her. So, no John Cole Jones being out helped out. She turned around and played another team versus the Wizards. Mystics don't really have any real size to play with her. The Sparks were playing around with a small lineup, which I never understood. Yes, Ezra Stevens was getting beat big, but it was like you can't. If you're getting beat by the other team's power forward or center, you can't go, we're just going to go small. Then the other team's power forward and center is going to continue to beat you up. Valkyries don't have any size. Ben Bengali was still in the Euros there. Then they played the Sparks again. So some of the team you got to look and go, okay, was it some of the teams they played? There. I mean, I kind of feel like if you ask me what I like tomorrow from a pre-flop, I think I like
it. Say it again, Atlanta, brother. Atlanta?
I like Atlanta -1.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to update you right now. The lines are moving here currently. Just ironically, the board is red here. I'm looking at the line service. We got moves right now. Seattle's up to a 2-point favorite right now on the road over Atlanta here currently. Like I said, they've already kind of taken the move. Now they're up to 2. They were a 1-point dog, like you said. But so you're going to be getting the points there tomorrow. Also, the total there is dropped all the way to 160. Go ahead, from 162.
So the question you start to look at that is why. So somebody's either questionable to play or not going to go. That somebody knows something. That's it.
Well, Ryan Howard did not. She left the game. It was last week. I mean, it was several days ago. The game against Seattle. She left that game. Seattle. Lexi Brown's questionable, but I think it's just there's a little bit of momentum building for this. Like you said, I mean, Seattle's not horrible. It's just it seems like their losses have been kind of really rough, right? I mean, they're still 10-7. They're only a game behind Atlanta in the standings here, but clearly move. Also, Sparks and Liberty. This one was, Sean, as high as what? The opener, 12 12.5. It's down to 10.5 right now at some of the books here. The sharp books have moved to 10.5 with the Sparks and Liberty. That's at least a point or two move on the Sparks. Also, the Aces are now up to 4.5. They opened 1.5. Again, we knew Clark was going to be out, but this really has been kind of a move on the fact that Clark is going to be out. Although Melissa Smith was added to the Aces roster, but that's not going to sway it.
So let's talk about that. I believe this could be the greatest coup every GM in the WNBA can do. And I already mentioned this in the chat there, so the guys were there. What I mean is you find someone who's married on a team and you trade for one of the spouses. The other spouse basically complains, says, I don't want to play anymore. And the other team basically cuts her and tells the rest of the league not to pick her up, a.k.a. Tawana Bonner. And you end up getting two for the price of one. Because here's the one thing I look from the Aces. Melissa Smith went gone. She's going to play. I think it's a brilliant move for them to get Melissa Smith. She doesn't have tremendous size, but she's got tremendous girth that can kind of help them down low. From a rebound perspective, especially with the second unit, because they didn't really have anybody. Without Gustafson this year, they just haven't had anybody to really help, and Ages had to play so many minutes. But if they somehow get Carrington out of this deal too, they now become a contender because Carrington is a scorer. You can get 10 to 15 points. She rebounds the basketball. She plays hard defense. It would be exactly what the Aces really need, which was another low post player who can play defense, and then you get another scorer who can help that second unit. If this turns into where Carrington complains and somehow she ends up on the Aces for nothing, this is just a brilliant move by their GM. Like, they should win GM of the year. It's almost as good as basically well, it's not as good because there's no trade for Tawana Bonner. You just basically had somebody whine and complain. I'm not going to play there.
Real quick, brother. Big time. Phillies just beat the Padres again. These Padres are struggling with this team 5-1, but also Detroit took the lead here just moments ago, 4-3 on a 2-run single. Also, Yankees right back in it here, 8-6. Reds 4, Boston 3, and Milwaukee's got a couple of runs. Cleveland up 3-0, and the Astros 1-0.
Yep. The Astros got more runners on. They're not done.
Okay. Also, so, Sean, this has been one of the big movers just within the last couple of minutes. Now, probably because now, look, Phoenix has probably cleared. There looks like they're going to be healthy, but Enrique is going to be out. Paige Beckers is probable with that knee problem. But you mentioned it.
Where are you seeing the lineups? Because I don't get the lineups till the day of. So where are you seeing that?
I'm looking at the injury reports from the lines from the Don lines. Okay. I better get good updates. I mean, I spend like a couple $100 a month on this shit, so they better give me the best injuries. So I show Becker. I will take responsibility as I do every morning on my show. I show Beckers as probable. I show Enrique as out. Carrington is going to be out still. Or no, I'm sorry, doubtful for that game. But yeah, still, Sean, this is up to 10.5 now for Phoenix. And Dallas has been, they're 3-6 against the spread at home, but they've certainly played a little bit better here of late. That's a big number.
Yeah.
10.5 right now, 10.5 here for Mercury at the Wings.
Did you see? I totally missed that the Valkyries cut the 3-point chucker.
Is there just some moves today?
No, this actually happened apparently 4 days ago, and I missed it. Okay. So Julie Van Loo was cut.
Well, you know what I mean. Okay, well, look. Caitlin Chen's been looking pretty good out there the last couple of games. I don't know if that's why, but
well, she's also bigger in size. Yeah.
And I don't know. Look, Van Loo's a very popular player. Caitlin Chen is off the charts popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice save there, man. Guatemala, a lot of heat here, huh? Is that what you're watching?
Yeah, that's why I was. That was a beautiful thing. Nobody closed out. He ends up having a very good shot. Goes low post, short side. Keeper a little bit late to react on that one, but it looks like it took a deflection too. So it's going to lead to a big corner here, and it's going to bounce it up straight up in the air.
Yeah,
we're going to be able to send it back in here.
Guatemala not known for their set corner game there.
And that's a terrible play. You can't. I don't know what's he trying to do there. You can't give it up just for. That was going in too.
Yeah, nice stop there. Nice stop for sure. And the other game I did, just to wrap it up there, if you had anything to say with the Lynx, are favored by 12 over the Mystics. And, you might think, hey, we're mad, but I would think it'd be like, we just played that big game. We didn't play that well, and now we're favored by 12. We just need to go out here and win this game. We can beat the Mystics. Watch out. Maybe watch out for the Mystics. They're not playing too bad. I heard you when you mentioned the worst teams. You mentioned the worst teams, and then you kind of said, I got the inference that you're saying, Mystics, they're in the middle of the pack now. They're not in the bottom anymore. Never, and maybe they haven't been for several weeks.
I think they play better when Sykes doesn't play. There's better ball movement. And they've won. If you actually look at the games, there's better teams. They've played well when Sykes hasn't played.
There was somebody talk about that today on social media about. I mean, you're never gonna, take Sykes out of your lineup, but I don't know. Maybe you could make a trade. Hey, we got a little. Tough guys here, Guatemala here, Sean. They want to.
Well, I mean, this is a big foul that he takes. It's a great move by that. I mean, he's nowhere near. He hits the off leg. He hits him up in the thigh. He knew exactly what he's doing, and then he's just trying to get in.
Clear yellow.
But you just can't do that at the end of the game because this is basically going to be losing 25 seconds. Because you're going to walk, you're going to hem and holler, you're going to point at each other, you're going to act and like, ooh, ow, it hurts.
No. Hey, I sweated it out, but maybe I'm going to get another exact score line. I've been hot on my exact score lines here. And I tell you what, I'm going to do it again because I've got tonight, me and Gerardo on there, Guatemala plus 1.5, but not over yet. Minute or so to go here.
Another game.
Hey, 2-1. I'm on 2-1 Mexico. That's what I'm saying tonight.
Okay. I took the over 2.5, but both of those things, Mexico's only scored 2 goals in this tournament. Oh, come on. You guys got a clearance. Come on, blow the whistle. That's it. 2-unit win for the night.
You're lucky you're lucky we won this game, or I'd have been cussing and screaming and you've been right there with me.
Anytime I ask you to put 2 units up to get 2 units, so definitely. There, so we'll take it. We will definitely.
I watch a lot of streams, okay? I watch a lot of streams, a lot of our friends, a lot of our buddies doing these streams. I don't know if anybody has quite the passion for this national team like you and I do. So we better win this game when you and I are together on screen here tonight, and we'll await. We'll await the winner. Hey, we're not going to put Mexico in there just yet. They got to go out and do the job against Honduras here tonight. Mexico not quite a big a favorite as the United States was, and I think I got to be honest. Watching the game, I don't think the U.S. looked that good, especially after they took the 2-0 lead.
No, definitely not. I kind of lucky to hang on. Yep.
Yeah, against any capable side. With all due respect to our friends in Guatemala, who they've had some better teams than this, I think, and. Still, I didn't feel like a great performance, but hey, our man, Diego.
Diego, 2 goals. Yep.
With 2 goals, and we'll see. got the Mexico game
Board.
in 1 hour, Sean. 1 hour for that U.S. Oh, let me go back to the women's game here now on the big screen.
Yeah, it's still 2-0.
Okay.
We got 63 minutes. Time has kind of calmed down a little bit there. The U.S. has 15 shots, only 6 on target. Canada's got 5 shots, 2 on target. Possession has been an absolute destruction, 64%, 36%. The expected goals are right what it's at, 2-0. So corners are we got only 4 corners in this game. Kind of surprising.
Top of the 9th here with Minnesota leading 2-1 over Miami. Wow. And
let's get that one too.
The pitchers duel there. So yeah, U.S. advances. The finals in Houston. I know you know that, but the finals in Houston there, and we'll see who we meet there. So for the Tigers, it was Jones with a 2-run double that gave him the lead in the top of the 7th inning. And man, for the Yankees, it feels like they're back in it. Obviously, here with this score 8-6, Stanton hit a home run. Judge had an RBI double in the inning as well.
Texas just got on the board.
It was a 3-run homer for Stanton. Yep. Oh, okay, Texas there.
Texas is up 3-0 now.
Oh, okay.
That should be enough for quality.
Yep, Simeon 3-run home run. Is he on the All-Star team?
I don't know. So far, the All-Star team is a bunch of guys who don't deserve it.
I knew we'd set you up. I knew we'd set you up good in that one. You got that. I believe the big beautiful Bill news is probably coming in here.
I'm just looking at the list.
But I think it was just a past here or whatever stage it's at right now. It kind of turned off 220 to 212 for House Republicans. They'll advance the big beautiful bill to a floor vote. Can't believe it's become a sports betting issue here.
So Ryan O'Hearn made the All-Star team. Terrible pass.
And with it being Thursday, got a couple matinees tomorrow in baseball, including the Miami, Minnesota wrap up, and Houston and Colorado a day game tomorrow. But another Thursday light schedule. Today, Sean, was the biggest card of the season in Major League Baseball because of those rainouts yesterday.
All the rainouts, yeah, he had like 18. So how did Ronald Acuna Jr. make the All-Star team?
Like I said, there's still a fan vote involved, right? And here's the thing about the fan vote, Sean. I don't know if it's proven. I don't think they released these numbers, but I believe that fan voting is top heavy, meaning it happens well before. Like nobody rushes to get their votes in like we used to when we used to mail dozens of those ballots when we'd have those little things you put. Remember, you'd push the
yeah.
And you'd get them all over your clothes, right? And you'd mail a bunch of 100 ballots there at the end. Most of the fan voting takes place when it actually starts to get promoted right away. People go to it, and it doesn't really happen as much on the back end with the fan voting.
The part that pisses me off is when you have double days. So, I mean, they're like, double your vote. Where I was like, what's the point of that? So my earlier vote doesn't count? And like, why can one day be double the vote versus the other day doesn't? So,
hey, one of your favorite guys just got hired as an assistant coach by the Magic. Did you hear?
God
Shamgod.
Oh, God Shamgod. Okay. JJ Barea is getting hired too. I think he got hired by the Mavs.
Wow, he sounds like he'd be an excellent coach. Or has he already been coaching, actually? I'm sure he has.
I believe he has, yeah. I mean, he's 5'1". It's not a lot he can do.
Calm down. You're not fine.
JJ Barea? How tall do you think JJ Barea is?
5'9". He's my height. All right.
He's 5'10". Okay.
So
He joins the Denver Nuggets head coaching. By the way, the Nuggets, they've made some tremendous.
Hey, let's hope it works out. I mean, give them credit, right? Wow.
And they went out and you convinced some guys to take minimum deals, which would just be absolute perfect for them. Really improved their bench. I don't understand Dennis Schroeder move to the Kings.
Yeah.
But he's got to have to explain that to me, especially if you're keeping Malik Monk.
Yeah, you got to think that that's what you think. You tell your guy, you've got a chance to win a title with this guy on your team. Oh, man. What do we got here? The Grand Slam.
We finally got the what I predicted 4 days ago. DeAndre Ayton's a Laker.
Yeah.
That was expected as soon as he got done. He was going to sign with the Lakers for $8 million. Yep.
It was Incarnation Strand with the Grand Slam that gave the Reds the lead in the top of the 7th inning to go up 5-3. Since Boston came back with Romy Gonzalez double to score Mayer 5-4. Good game here, Boston and the Reds.
So that ends the Lakers basically signing unless they do trades because they have no more money.
Maybe that was their guy all along, Sean. I don't know. I mean, I know it was like, oh, they didn't get this guy out of the center group. Oh, they didn't get this guy. I felt like they were going to just be committed.
If Ayton, health-wise, is there, Ayton's a really good. And I was convinced in Portland he really wasn't that hurt that most of the time. He was just kind of, they told him, hey, take the night off, whatever. And we want to see this other guy play, and we're doing our best to get rid of you, and we'll do the buyout next year. I think that the outright just cutting of Dame Lillard was the most surprising move in NBA free agency.
Why don't we know the story, or why isn't there even a speculative good answer for what's going down?
Well, they had to. It's the only way they can afford Miles Turner's contract. For the money they offered Miles Turner, they have no other way.
Look what Tucson has.
I love Miles Turner. Maybe I'm overrating him then at this point.
Tucson wins every time.
Excuse me. Yeah.
I don't think he's a guy that I'd be willing to put a big investment in.
Well,
he's earned it. He deserved it. Hey, great job. I mean,
so the Dame's going to be a shell of himself. He's going to be 36, 37 years old.
Right, and
injuries. I wouldn't touch Dame with the 10-foot pole. Some team will, but he's already also sat there and said he probably won't. He might not sign for anybody in 2025. The question is the Pacers really kind of went away from him too. So that was kind of an interesting thing. But I do think he's an upgrade over Brook Lopez because I think Lopez is on the downside of his career. I just don't understand what the Bucks are doing with the guys they did kind of bring in. I don't understand how they're going to mesh. It's basically kind of the same team adding Turner in for Lopez.
Want to say hello to Tim D in the chat. He's hearing what you're saying about all of this. Sean, he says Turner had some really good nights, but he was inconsistent. I think that's a fair statement for sure. Usually really good, but definitely no-show some nights and maybe some liability on defense there. So I'd say that overall Turner has overshot his, the expectations were always there. Took him a while to get there, but I think he's fulfilled his career expectations for the most part. I don't see him as a, even a co-franchise player, if you know what I mean, with what he'll need to be accomplishing in Milwaukee. Because we know that Milwaukee, it's not some turnaround project ever. You're just trying to build to get a good surrounding cast for Giannis to try to make a run somehow. So
in a very, very bad East, you're basically going against the Cavs and the Magic. That's who you're going against the next year.
No hope for Mike Brown today, Sean, with the big news.
Did he not sign with the Knicks?
No. I'm just saying. I know I'm a little late to the party here.
Are you trying to say because I didn't include the Knicks in the move? I do like them. They signed the Dancing Bear.
Coaching isn't going to do it. I know that.
They signed the Dancing Bear. Whether he'll get any minutes will be a question mark. But I like the pickup of the Dancing Bear. He played really well in Philadelphia. It's kind of surprised they let him go. Yershon Gavaselli signed with the Knicks. I
thought the free agent signing of the week was Sandro. Sandro went to the Pistons, right?
Yes.
All right, man, our guy. He's got to be one of your favorite guys. This guy's Mr. Get My Prop every time.
One of my favorite guys, and I'll say a low-key signing, and I think he's going to be great on his new team, is Miami giving up on Duncan Robinson for what the Pistons gave up, grabbed him, but they had to with Malik Beasley not going to play anytime soon. That case is also very interesting when you look into that. That guy owned everybody. He's an NBA player making millions of dollars, and he has outstanding bills for his barber, his dentist, his landlord.
You're talking about Beasley.
Yes. And yeah, I don't know how
the latest one there I saw on show. He sold his Rolex to a friend or what? I just read one.
He's a guy who looked like he could have been up against everything, and he found a way there. And when it made sense, because he was tremendously easy to bet, because you saw him taking 10 to 11 threes a game. So we were just betting the threes all year, and we won a lot of money with Beasley. And again, you also look at the one dunk that he had in the one game in a 9-point game where the spread was 7.5, and he grabbed the ball right from the inbounds pass, and he went all the way right to the rim and just dunked it right away, like he had to do it. Kind of shows that he might. There's a lot of things that don't look really good. You got
but the initially so far, right? I mean, I know the story is not concluded, maybe, but
yes.
The story coming back is just the fact that, you know what? We don't think there was anything related to sports betting, even though it looked bad, but guy was just an addicted gambler who couldn't control the tables, the craps, the blackjack.
Yeah, there was stuff he was tremendously there. There's a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of fire here. So we'll see how this ends up, but he's not going to play anytime soon, if not ever. So you're going to have Duncan Robinson, a smart move, but for the Heat to get Simone Fontecchio, and I think Spoltz will use him correctly, much better than the Pistons use him. He's going to use him like they used in Utah, which is just going to let him go to work. And Fontecchio is going to average about 10 points. He's going to get 4 or 5 rebounds a game, and he's going to get you a couple assists. And he's going to play good defense. He's going to be a Miami Heat type of player. And that was a massive coup for them to at least get him back in the deal, I believe, for giving up Duncan Robinson. So, and also you got to remember towards the end of the year, Robinson didn't play. He didn't. He got to the end of the year, and it was all the young guys, and it wasn't even Duncan Robinson getting that many minutes. He occasionally come off the bench, but yeah, it wasn't anything big for them. I do think it's interesting to see Maxim Renault, see how he plays with the Kings. That should be very interesting.
Yeah, maybe you and I'll get some summer league picks going here in a little bit.
So where's Ben Simmons go?
Oh, come on.
Apparently you're saying Knicks have checked in on him.
No shit.
So here's a question. People aren't going to like this, but I actually do like this move. The Hornets could be a playoff team next year.
Hey, let's go Hornets.
You don't think so? Technically, if you look at their team, they have pieces. Except for center, because they traded every guy that played center. So, I mean, I guess we're running with Diabate and Tijon Salon is going to play center at 6'11". That's the best thing I could say. But if you look at that team on paper, terrible pass. I will say the Canada defense is just kind of like standing still. They're exhausted. There's no move to get open. There's no move to set up a pass, create better passing lanes. They're just standing still. US, nice play. Get it! And you hit the post. You hit the top. Oh, she had it right in the middle. Tigers are blowing it. Okay, we're getting some baseball updates. We did get shit. We got the Cubs to score 2 in the 4th, and they've killed my under 4.5.
Okay.
Not doing great in baseball. Tigers are up 4-3. Yankees are down 1 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might want to stop pitching to that Judge guy. Just to let you know. That's kind of my one thought I would do. The Braves are up 3-2 now.
Yeah, and a couple runners on, and Acuna's up. So let's see how the All-Star does. Mexico won, Colombia nothing in the other women's game. 71st minute here.
Just a friendly. We got Colorado and Houston knotted up at 2-2 in the hitter's ballpark.
Yeah, Brown gave up a couple runs. Huh? You know who homered? 2-run shot for Mickey Moniak.
Mickey Moniak.
Trying to resurrect his career here in Colorado. It looked like he was headed out of baseball there when he got released by the but got picked up in Colorado. They stuck him in the starting lineup, and, well, he's done a few things. Washington's just tied the game. This one's down the line in the corner. 2 runs will score. Nats lead. 3 runs will score. 6-4. Woo! Nats.
Texas. Ezekiel Duran drives in 2.
Oh.
5-0.
Oh, Texas.
Not good for under.
Yeah.
Not good for under.
Yeah.
5-0 is not exactly what we're looking at. All right, Canada 4 in front. It's 4-6. Nice ball in the box, but boy, no energy at all for the Canadian player to go get it. Nice save. And Canada just looks exhausted. There's wide open gaps. They just switched out the forward. She's going to come running in here untouched. She's got a man. There it is. There it is. Circle. Oh, come on. You had a wall pass right there. That was right there. Top of the box shot. And a little flutter. Didn't really get any good wood on it.
Walks, bases loaded now. And here's Olsen.
Iowa triples, 6-4 Nats. Oh, low triples.
Mm-hmm.
What low do they have on their team? Oh, is that Nate Lowe? Okay. Isn't it Lau?
Lau.
Yeah. The old Tigers player. Yep.
And this one is deep, way back, and grand slam career number 9, Matt Olson. 16th home run of the season, 56 RBIs, home run, grand slam, 358 feet.
Aren't you on the Angels?
I am. I am on the Angels. I'm a professional here, Sean. You have not brought me on here to be a homer for my bets, okay?
Oh, right there. Oh, come on.
everyone to celebrate that had. But I have the over in this game, so it's gonna probably go over here as Olsen goes yard.
All right. It's another 3-on-5 for Canada. Can we get in the box and get something on this? You can get absolutely nothing on that shot.
But
Both
that's
teams
the game.
At the end of the game, a women's game, when you're like, oh, look, one touch goes by the girl. One touch. I mean, it's not even, this isn't even hardly skill. Middle school soccer right now wins right here.
Another run for Washington here on a double by Bell, 7-4.
Canada clutching and grabbing as girls run by her. I hope everyone realizes that the USA versus Mexico final is just not easy. I agree with that. But neither team are playing their best team. So it's not like Mexico's running out here the best squad. And they've scored 2 goals all tournament. Is it going to be a very boring, most likely 1-0 match? Probably. And did I say who would win? No, but I think it'll be like 1-0. That's
all right.
Both teams,
John, I say 2-1 though. I went higher
for Mexico versus US.
Oh, you mean what you've already put Mexico in over this Honduras team?
I have put Mexico over Honduras. Yes. So I'm telling you, that's the final. What's your goal score? These two teams generally get together, and when they play, it becomes a
1-1, and then it'll go to penalties.
Yeah, a shootout and a game that's there. Under 2.5 is really the bet. She's grabbing her, no call. She's looking at the refs.
I don't like going to. I understand it's not a, it's a Gold Cup. This is the way the tournament's played, but just go right to penalties. I guess that's what we do when you don't have. It's not a real tournament. Oh, I didn't say that. Gold Cup's a real tournament. It's been around for a long time.
Yep. Well, it counts. Counts as points. That's all that matters. It counts as points for you to be able to make the World Cup. So,
all right, what are we looking at here? 86 minute right now.
We are getting very excited for somebody named Tara coming into the game. And apparently, it might be her birthday. So Tara McEwen comes in the game. Let's see where Tara McEwen's from. She plays for the Washington Spirit. I think we're getting actually prayers really for the Canadian player, I actually think. Chukwu. Yeah, Annabelle Chukwu comes in at 18 years old here.
Yeah, this game's in Washington.
Go in the box. Chukwu's going to have a shot. She can't get it out of her feet. They gave her the ball right in the middle of the box, and she couldn't get it out of her feet to pull the trigger.
No, she had a wide open, but but then they converged. This game's in Washington, so maybe that's also the roar for the sub that for Ward in there.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to the women's stuff. I've gone to the Women's World Cup in Canada. So that's just a terrible trap. She was right there. She just thought so much of trying to get her feet ready to shoot. That's just a terrible trap. That's a gorgeous pass right to her feet. She had both her feet standing together, not in a position to receive, and then couldn't get her feet together into figuring out which foot she wanted to shoot it with. That's just called absolutely 18-year-old brain fart.
I can't describe to someone who hasn't been to world class or professional. Going to a women's soccer match compared to a men's professional, it's hard to describe the feeling and the aura of it. Just, I don't know. It feels like a better time when you go to a women's game. I don't know if I can describe it as that.
I mean, you end up going to multiple games, so your tickets for multiple games, not just for one. There's the goal, 3-0. Goalkeeper didn't even move. Top of the box, boom. Goal scored. That might have been Thompson.
That's the real Washington star right there. McKeon with the assist, Ryan with the goal.
Oh, okay.
The subs here, the subs here looking good.
Oh, I knew there was a goal coming because it's just Canada's defense was flat-footed, and they keep replacing forwards and midfielders, but their defense is just standing around. These people aren't moving. And it's just had all day in the world to sit there and set this up.
Yasmin Ryan with that left footer.
She nutmegs her right through her crotch, and then it just goes right through. So a little bit of lucky there, but it works. Sometimes you gotta be lucky than good.
And hello to Danny Bro in the chat. He was the one that made that quote with you about getting into these two teams. It's still not easy. We take it for granted, I think is what he was saying there, right? That we get this final so much, but we still got to knock these other teams out. And he says he's having a great time keeping up, and he's also enjoying the women's action here. And these are good friendlies, but like I said, we're going to be in for some great women's matches here over the next couple of weeks for sure. Definitely worth keeping an eye on the women's Euro that started today. Yeah, world class event right there.
I'm definitely going to get into the women's Euro a little more. I'm probably going to like that. I just haven't dove into it as much. So got to see where some players are.
9-4 Nationals now. They've added 2 more here.
Just pouring it on Detroit team here.
Yeah, and Texas gets another run, 6-0. All right, 10-minute warning coming up. Here's Sean for our last games tonight. And
what's your take? Are you
10 o'clock?
Noah Cameron said back-to-back bad starts. After really, really good, he's kind of then really, really hit the wayside in back-to-back games. He's been touched up in 3 of his last 4. He's given up 2 runs at least. He gave up 5 runs in 1 run, 6 runs in the other. Kind of feel like going with Seattle here, but Seattle's been in a funk. Royals last night coming through there. They played well versus the Rangers there, but the Twins there, basically a 500 ball club in their last 8. So I do kind of like Logan Gilbert more on the hill here. Kind of leaning, I would take Seattle. What can we get on the first 5?
Yeah, well, let me see. Is that what you... Seattle first 5 tonight on the run line here, -0.5, -$1.10. Is that what you're looking to do?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to go. I'm going to give 2 plays out here because I don't know how long we're going to be sticking around. I mentioned there is one 10-10 game also. I'm going under in both. I'm going under in Kansas City and Seattle with Cameron and Gilbert in this one. I thought the line's a little bit. I'm worried that's $1.57, $1.65, $1.70 here for this Seattle team right now. I know Kansas City's had some issues for sure, but I'll take the under in the game at looks like 7 flat for the most part. And in the late one, I'm going to go under again. I just expect a similar replay maybe last night. Don't forget, everyone, Kershaw going for his 3,000th strikeout tonight. So that's the main. Sean, is a K-prop 4.5 over 20. Is that inflated for the moment, or is that just something fun that you could play and root for Clayton to get that tonight. He doesn't need 5 strikeouts. He only needs 3, but 4 would obviously put him at 3,001. And then he's facing the White Sox after all. 4.5 over 20. I like the under in the game, but what do you think about Kershaw's big night?
I'd have to look at it. I'll be out flat honest. I'm going to tell you I haven't bet Kershaw all year, so I couldn't tell you what his normal K prop was. I know he's about 102 right now. So he's playing the White Sox, who are a very good first 5 team. Not sure why, but they're a very good first 5 team. Let me see what he's done lately and what he's done. It's 4.5. I see 4.5 on FanDuel.
Yeah, 4.5 over 20, I think, was the line that I saw. And my question was, do you think that the sports books have put a tax on it, or maybe in good nature they'll just give him a decent price here? I don't look at it quite like you do as far as
the White Sox strike out a ton too. So I think you're getting maybe a premium on that more than the record. And yeah, you're probably thinking he might be locked in to try to get this record. Let me look at his last couple games, and that's it. USA wins 3-0.
Okay.
He's at 5-4, 5 and 7. So it's probably right around where it should be. He's played 8 games. He has 29 strikeouts. So he's getting a little bit more than 3 a game. So, but his last 4, he's hit 4 more in every game.
Okay. That's at 10:10. 10:10 Eastern and 7:10 Pacific for that late game tonight. So want to make sure we squeeze something in on that one here for the coverage tonight.
Yeah, I kind of am leaning to taking that over 4.5. I took it personally in a small bet.
Okay.
Just because they're playing the White Sox.
All right. Well, tomorrow we'll get you pinned down to pick some picks in the White Sox Rockies series this weekend, the one that everybody's looking forward to.
Yeah. So it's tremendously. I cannot wait.
But we'll have WNBA tomorrow. I know that you'll be a little more prop heavy with us tomorrow for sure with the 5-game card. We've already talked about a little bit.
So the White Sox have K'd 736 times in 85 games. That's where I could see the inflation. I mean, that's over 8.6 strikeouts a game.
Oh.
I don't know.
I mean, it took him a couple games. I mean, you could say it took him a couple games to get loose, but that first start he did not look great. I mean, he was on the bench.
He did not look good as there, but his last 4, like I said,
right? Kershaw knows what he's doing. If he's gonna, have a bad first start, he's not gonna worry about it. I mean, if there was an injury or something, that's one thing, but there's obviously not. He looks pretty darn good. And now Glass now is about to come back.
You know who I really like tonight? I like Logan Roop. I like the Giants, though the Giants have been terrible lately. But I like Logan Roop.
It's just been too bad. I mean, even Arizona's beating the Giants. That's how bad it's been. So it's kind of tough for me to, especially with Merrill Kelly. At least he's found something here for a last, several starts right now.
I've got Merrill Kelly in one of my fantasy leagues strictly because he gets wins. It's amazing that Arizona's starting pitchers gets wins. I like Brandon Pfaadt in there just strictly because he gets wins. I think I'm going to take this Kershaw bigger. I really am. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm going to take my USA winnings, and I'm going to bet Kershaw.
Well, I'm glad I could get some
hockey into it.
Degenerate action there for you, and that's why you bring me along here on the Nuke the House channels.
All right, so let's talk this Mexico-Honduras game.
Yeah, I don't know if you could get me to change my opinion too much, but I want to hear what you have to say.
I like the over 2.5.
Me too.
And what price can we get on that?
I believe it's going to be even money, isn't it? I think the move has kind of been towards the under, actually, a little bit.
My only thing I'm looking at is to see what is the price of Mexico to score 2 goals versus the over 2.5.
Oh.
Because if it's a similar price, then I'll just take, because the only way I think it's going over 2.5 is the Mexico scores.
Mm-hmm. So you like the Mexico team total over 2 or over 1 over over 1 and 3 over 1 3/4 maybe?
Yeah, it's over. So it's if you like the 2-1, Honduras to score is plus 124. Mexico to score 2 is minus 188.
I just saw a couple of home runs here. Profar is on the board this season. Profar, home run here, his first of the year. And Schneider just hit a home run there as well. 9-7 Toronto. That's a big one, man, because the Yankees came all the way back there. But good to see Profar here in the lineup and doing some damage. Go ahead. I'm 2-1 Mexico exact score line tonight. Will be my pick. I've been hot on the exact score lines, and
yeah, we hit one. I kind of feel it's the same way. I just question whether Honduras is going to score. Mm-hmm. That's my question. I mean, I kind of almost take the same exact bet that I just made for the last one. That would be my thought process.
Big Scott says Kershaw over 4.5 Ks to the Dodger money line to the Arizona parlay. Arizona money line is close to 3-1 there, and thanks for hanging out, Scott. Also, Danny, bro, what do you say? Oh, yeah, no game on July 4th. No game on July 4th, right? Let's have, but that's what you know what we've played games on July 4th in the Gold Cup, I think. Before I'm trying to remember. I don't know. There's one game in Major League Soccer tomorrow. Toronto will take on NYC.
Yeah, not a very good team in Toronto. NYC is I'm convinced they're determined to try to make the playoffs by draws. This is what I'm convinced to. They either draw or they lose. I mean, you look at the last month: draw, loss. Sorry, I went New England Revolution. Sorry, why did I look at that? Sorry.
And tomorrow in Euro, Belgium and Italy, Spain and Portugal, and women's Euro action in that order. The Belgium and Italy there early, followed by Spain and Portugal at 3 Eastern.
Well, Spain's got 3 of the top 15 girls in the world. So very, very most likely possible that they run ramp shot over this Portugal team. Portugal does not have a very good goalie. Comes into this game a little bit on the backside. Basically, they lose almost all their friendlies coming into this. They lose to Belgium, England, Spain. Spain beat them 7-1 in the most recent friendly. Then Spain beat them 4-2. So you can't get Spain's like minus 1,500. So unless you're going to want to go ahead and take Spain minus 2.5 goals, there's really not much you can do in this game. But that should be the only game there. Now, goal difference matter. So they're probably going to go and put the woodshed down. So if we look at this line right now, you're probably going to have to go to team props. You're going to have to go to like 2.5 goals at least. And you can get Spain minus 2.5 and minus 128. That's essentially where I would lean if I was going to take this, because I think they're going to blow them out. The other thing that you could take is probably look at the goals market. If you think Spain's going to win by 2.5, you go back to some of the things that we just talked about. How many goals do we think Spain's going to score? I would think probably 4 at least. And as the home team, you can get over 3.5 for Spain at plus 128.
And that's why you see why I come on this show and set my man up so he makes me look good. All I do is say the game, and he gives you a complete breakdown of not only the players and the props and the propositions for betting the game as well. You're the man, baby.
So it's a little. I mean, it's a little different. You want to take the 3.5 for Spain. The score that's plus 128. If you feel a little bit less than that, you can take the over 3.5 goals in the game. That's at minus 128. That's not a bad number for saying there's 4 goals. That one you don't really care who scores the goals, but I think Spain pretty much gets 4 goals. Not an issue at this to be able to score. The other thing I've started to bet a little bit more in soccer. Do you ever bet the bands?
Say it again, Sean.
Do you ever bet the bands?
Only have I've done it in some of the game where it's the standout game and I'm watching one game, but I'm not hitting them all the time.
Okay, I've started to bet the bands more in parlays. So I like it. There's a game I like, and I'm on the over 2.5 or something like that. I'll bet a 2-4 parlay band. You get that at a minus 150, a minus 160. I can take that with the WNBA money line, or CFL money line, or baseball money line, and kind of feel like sometimes you can kind of hedge that way without kind of killing your bet. So it's not a negative if you get your bet. So it's kind of one thing I'm starting to play. So I look at the bands in this game. And there's a kind of interesting thing if you want to take that over 3.5. You can take the 3-4 band at plus 125. I think we definitely see at least 3 goals. So, yeah. Or if you want to be real thing, you take the 2-4. You can go up to 3-6 at minus 220. So that's like plenty of hedging opportunity there. So just something to take a look at. I know most people don't ever look at it, but it is something that's a really great parlay piece if you're looking for to be able to take it. Yep.
Hey, sound the trumpets. Diaz is in, but he's coming in for a 4-out save tonight. Always worries me when we go through Timmy Trumpet with 1 out and 2 outs in the 8th inning instead of bringing him on the start of the inning here, but does have a 6-3 lead currently. So maybe Diaz can work out of this here. There are 2 men on as he comes into the game here with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. They'll have to pitch another inning here, but sometimes it's a bugaboo for Diaz. He's up here against Jake Bowers with 2 outs.
Well,
also,
Burns run. So they're up 9-7. We did cash the Twins 2-1, so that cashes. Is there anything live that you look at it there? Atlanta got another run. I mean, Angels are not winning this game.
That's okay. The premium over at Tony's Picks was the over, actually.
Okay. Yeah, plug your Tony's Picks. Give your chance, and I'll plug the Nuke the House.
Yeah, no, appreciate. Hey, I'm all over the place. I mean, I consider myself part of this team too, brother. Yep.
That's good.
Coming on with you here, and all the great programming with Keg and the gang. But I'm over at Sports Money every day at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific with my daily show where I don't know, kind of talk about the stuff we're talking about right now with Sean. Just in the morning, though, preview the games, and then my premium picks at winnable.com/Ramon, and then my high roller picks, the ones that I recommend if people are going to be playing, like those people that maybe on the internet are complaining about paying too much in taxes. Anyway, I try to get strong enough percentage over there at tonyspicks.com with those premium picks, and I'm on Tony's Picks, some of their shows as well on that channel daily at 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 Pacific on the happy hour. So I just appreciate coming here. And Bowers watches one go by. Diaz strikes him out. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th here, and the Mets will lead 6-3. So I think we'll have tomorrow. Look, I know we love baseball, but I know you'll be firing away on some of these props with some of these players tomorrow. 5-game WNBA card. So I'll be here for that. Like we'll probably be here for the whole. We're here for the whole card. Probably you said half the games start or the games start at 7, 7:30, and 8, and that's it. I mean, there's no West Coast game, so we'll probably be here for the at least the early games and well into the second half, I would guess. Oh, the Yankees, tied it up. Just they went against what did you tell them not to pitch to Judge? Guess what?
I pitched the Judge 9-9.
Home run. Why did you do it? Look, Jeff Matthews said it. You said it, Sean. I mean, you are a Foxy, but I guess they just don't listen to any, two guys in a box here on YouTube. We'll just pitch to them. You got to get them out, I guess. If you're the Jays, you can't. You're just not proud enough. Garcia gives up a 2-run home run to Judge. It's the second of the game, right?
I believe so, yeah.
And he's having a big game here. So, all right, brother. Well,
it's his first of the game. He does have 3 RBIs.
He didn't get any.
2 runs.
Some RBI. He had a big hit, a double, right? A 2-run double there back in that 5th inning. Have a day, though. Have a day.
That's why you can't walk, guys. In front of Judge. That's why my boy Ben Rice gets a free run for just taking a walk. Nothing wrong with that.
The offense is broken out of it a little bit. That was, we were on vacation. It turned out to be, I believe, 16 straight unders last 2 weeks for the Yankees.
Yeah, I heard that. I totally missed that whole thing. San Francisco starts the game off 1-0.
Really? Okay.
I could see taking Raul Jimenez. He just hasn't done squat. Mexico's starting a 16-year-old midfielder today. 16. So you can tell they're really worried about this game.
2-0 there now. There's got another Yastrzemski homered, and then they've scored another one here. I'm just missing it here right now, but I'll see it in just a second. Golf tomorrow. Not everybody's going to be at the John Deere Classic. Ben Griffin's a favorite because of his awesome. Look, outside of those top guys, Ben Griffin's been a revelation here this season. But guys like Justin Day, Poston, Luke Clanton, that's the guys you're dealing with this week. Sean, any golf interest?
The only thing you kind of look at, are you taking Griffin 16-1? The only thing I take right now is the only play I've made. I took Griffin to be in the top 20.
Okay.
It's hit in 6 straight tournaments.
Yeah. I mean, he's been pretty sharp for sure.
And you can get that. You can get that as -115, -125 in some books or shop around. But yeah, that was the only play I made. Other than that, I had nothing on this tournament.
Okay.
If you want to go for some long shots, go for some long shots. The big boys aren't here.
You don't have to tell me, Fox. I mean, come on. The John Deere with this field, I might be sprinkling some double-digit guys for sure. Especially after last week.
You don't have to worry about those guys. So, yeah.
I had the whole board except for those final 2. And then, I ended up there with, what's his face? Should have won the tournament there on the first playoff hole, and then he was out by the second playoff hole last week. I'm trying to think, what I'm talking about. It was Kirk, right? Kirk? I think it was Kirk.
Again, couldn't tell you. I was just all right. So I got 2 hours sleep on Thursday. I worked on Friday. Immediately went to bed after work was over. We woke up at 2 on Saturday morning, which I haven't done since like high school or college. And then on Sunday, woke up at 1 on Sunday, but we were up to like 1, 2 o'clock each night, just to get to sleep. Just our body clock is still going tremendously crazy. So anything that happened really in sports from Sunday to 2 weeks before, I did know OKC won the championship. I told you I watched that game. But game 6, I was stuck in a van going on the road to Hana and with no cell site. So every now and then I'd get a turn when we go over a cliff that would give me a little bit of a picture, and I like, okay, well, they're down 27. All right, well, this game's over. So glad I missed that one, but Game 7 I was able to watch. So I did watch some World Cup action because that happened at 9 a.m. my time. So I don't know how you guys watch sports so early in the morning. That would just drive me nuts. Like most of the time, maybe watching like every event happens during the day when you'd be working. So, but thinking of World Cup, we could go to Friday. We'll save that for tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have plenty to talk about tomorrow because the baseball. Oops, sorry about that. Let my audio come through the Mexico. They're in the extra time here. It's still 3-1 Mexico. But we got the short baseball card, so it'll be a little bit more. I don't know. We did a lot of chit chatting here, and the Yankees, man, they really they're not done yet. First and second here, 2 outs. Jazz gets a hit. Man, this will be a frustrating one for the Blue Jays, certainly, especially given how hard they've worked over the last 2 or 3 weeks to get, to within a game here of the standings, and they could tie if they could win this game tonight. If they were to blow this one, it's got to be a little bit of a bummer. Plenty of games left, but.
All right, so here's the question. Where do the Orioles finish in the American League standings? Second, third loss, second to worst, third to worst, fourth to worst, fifth to worst? Or did they make a magical run here in the second half of the season?
Did you say the Royals or the Orioles, Sean?
Orioles.
It's funny because I pretty much have put these guys out for dead. For some reason, every time I look up when I'm doing the show in the morning or I look at the line on a particular, I'm like, who is betting these guys right now? And then yet they still come through. I mean, I know it's baseball. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, I'm going to be 70 and 90 is a terrible record, but 70 is still a lot of wins. Maybe I just zig when I'm supposed to zag when it comes to the Orioles. I don't have much of hope for this team at all, but you know what? They moved. Hey, Charlie Morton's pitching. Is it tomorrow? No, it's Friday. Oh, okay.
He's pitched better as of late.
I understand. I was looking forward. I was hoping to get the Charlie Morton versus Bryce Elder matchup of the year.
I mean, but you've got guys. Grayson's eventually coming back. Tyler Wells, I believe, is coming back. Kyle Bradish is coming back. Obviously, Povich going down and getting hurt is probably the best thing for them. And again, there's still hitters there. Somehow Ryan Hurd's an all-star. So I mean,
what do I have to pick if they'll pass or if they'll finish ahead of the White Sox, the A's, and anybody else?
Yeah, that's your question. They have 37 wins.
I'll go with they'll finish ahead of the White Sox and finish ahead of the. I don't think they can get out of the cellar of the East. I don't.
Okay, still think they finish fifth. Okay.
Yeah, Boston's troubling for sure. Maybe they can catch Boston.
Okay. All right.
Or maybe Boston goes the other way.
Because there's a way you look up and you're like, they're at 37 wins.
Yeah.
Because
it feels like Boston's kind of thrown in the towel a little bit, right?
Yeah. But Boston went on the youth movement, and I think it was the right move for them to do. Though.
Right. It felt like the trade was made for a little bit of future, and while anything can happen because you're the Boston Red Sox, and here come the Mets going to get another run here. Janikowski's going to score on a base hit right now for another Mets run, 7-3. But, yeah, right there, Boston and Baltimore. Hey, whatever Tampa Bay, it's Tampa Bay. You know this club, and this is what we get every few years from the Rays, right?
Yeah.
Ready? This is
their
1 year.
They still get that.
Yep. It's not a fluke. This is what we see from this organization. Every, 2, 3, 4 years, they pop up with another great season and can even make the playoffs. And they're getting McClanahan back soon.
Yep.
That's got to be huge, right? Because he's one of the true, I don't know, top 25 arms in the game, right?
Yeah, but you sit there and look at there. So Jonathan Aranda, who no one talks about, by the way, has better numbers than Ryan O'Hearn, who made the All-Star. Caminero has unbelievable power. So not shocked at all. I've been high on Caminero since he was a kid. So just absolutely, he's kind of been the one difference, I think, in this team than the years past. Before, they've been solid guys, some guys who can get some hits when they need. But with Caminero and the way Brandon Lau is playing essentially in that ballpark, they've got a chance there. Now, shortstop, still kind of a question, but Caballero does his best, and he can steal bases time to time. Taylor Walls is terrible. Jake Mangum has been an absolute find, but again, a 29-year-old rookie who's batting over 300, but is whether that steps up, who knows. Chandler Simpson is a beast. He gets more infield hits. He gets more stolen bases. He puts pressure on your team.
Big second half, actually.
Josh Lowe coming back has played really well so far in his ability to come back. You basically have a guy like Christopher Morel who doesn't get any playing time. That was traded for one of their big guys. So he was supposed to come in and be an everyday player, and he's not. Pipo has been up and down. He had a really great game last time. Drew Rasmussen still has ability and talent. Zach Littell pitched really well last time. Shane Boz has got talent. Taj Bradley's moved all the way down to 5th. It'll be very interesting. Still kind of working on the bullpen. Been playing a lot of rookies late. Edwin Aceda has been playing. Eric Orsay has been playing. Both of those guys a little bit unquestionable. That would be, if they're really going to go after it, they need to get some arms, some bullpen arms that shouldn't cost them that much. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually do go for it. In years past, they don't. They just stay with what they have, and they make the playoffs, and they're out in the first round.
Kansas City got a run to open up the scoring here.
Not what I want to say.
Get going, yep. And just about set for that Mexico game. So enjoy that. Now, one more thing, though, Sean, before I let you go, because tomorrow, will you have your analysis complete for Joey Chestnut's return to Coney Island?
I mean, he's going to win.
Yeah, but I think the real debate, and you're the prop man. I mean, come on. Can he – look, if you go – and I know you go to the IFOC website every day to see that Chestnut's metrics show that he is not eating as much as he used to, but he will have the momentum of his return to the Nathan's Championship. So can he get that 72.5 number or 72 numbers?
I think I'm going to play the under.
Okay.
That's where I think I'm going to tackle this.
Because he could win no matter what. I mean, I believe he's a 20-dog favorite?
Yeah. You're having fun with this, aren't you?
I think he might even
The question is, do we take the over 19.5 in the Yankees game?
Oh, is it 19.5 right now live? Reds just won here. Well, of course we do, Sean, because this one's going to go extra innings, and they're probably both going to score in the 10th inning.
Score. That's kind of where my thought process was.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Reds win. That was my pick there on the Cover the Spread show that I do on the YouTube, some other channel that I'm on, Cover the Spread show. I took the Reds today over Boston. So we got a small underdog winner with the Reds there.
Astros down to -120. Now -156. They got him strike.
I want to see how many dogs he was favored by, actually, here if they have that.
I haven't even found that to look at that yet, but I will. You always keep me on my toes. I appreciate that.
Oh boy, he's so you got Webb at 50, you got Esper at 50, the veteran also. So about a 20 dog advantage. Chestnut 71.5 is his over under there, and the closest guys behind they got two guys at 50. So basically a 21 dog favorite. There. Oh no, Bertoletti 52.5. He's going to be your number 2 guy there, of course. So still 19 dog favorite there for Chestnut. But again, can he get that record amount? Or hey, I'm back. I can win the contest without. Oh man, I was going to try to think of some kind of cliche there. He'll relish the victory. He could easily relish the victory by not even trying. But he had he would add the suspension by the by the contest for his sponsorships, but now he's back. Kobayashi never made it back, huh? Kobayashi never made it back from his. He took the money. The money was more important than the yellow mustard belt.
Yep.
He won enough of them. He had won enough of them, but we never got the real rematch there between Chestnut and Kobayashi.
All right, Gerardo wants to tell me because I wasn't telling you. He's on anytime goal scorer Real de Jimenez.
Okay.
He hasn't scored in a while, so Blue Jays trying to make it here. 2 men on, 2 outs.
Yeah, and this is a deep fly ball to center field. The runners will advance there, right? 2 outs and runners at second and third now.
Yep.
And you might remember that Chestnut and Kobayashi did just face off last year on a Netflix special, and they
how is that a Netflix special? I'll be right back. Hold on 1 second.
You remember that?
No, I do not.
Here's let's see here. The Braves have won here 8-3 tonight. Braves win over the Angels here tonight. And I think we had another one here real quick, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, I think we already covered it with the Reds there over Boston tonight. Final score. It already went final. I know I announced it already, but 5-3 Boston with the win over. That was the first game, you guys. I just said it right. 8-4. 8-4. Cincinnati got the nightcap there. I say the nightcap. The first game was the completion of the suspended game, actually, from yesterday. So, also still in action here. We're coming down here, and just moments ago, Toronto has scored that 10th run now. And what just happened here? It was not any hit in any way, right? Was it a wild pitch? You guys might have seen it. I might have missed it. With the runners at second and third, a wild pitch in the dirt allows the go-ahead run to score here for Toronto in the bottom of the 8th inning just now. So costly mistake here by Williams, the closer, and then the next pitch is hit deep to right, going foul. We almost had a Barger call there down the right field line, just foul, but Springer scored to make it 10-9 on the wild pitch. And then Williams almost served one up to Barger. But, it was a wild pitch. You would like to see your catcher, but maybe he crossed him up. I don't know, because the catcher went for the backhand and didn't shift his body. Maybe it was lazy. I don't know, but 10-9 right now. So, we never saw, and the Mets have wrapped up their win here as Diaz gets the outs, and the Mets win over Milwaukee here tonight. They beat Mazeroski tonight. Mets win 7-3 in an over here in this one. Texas still leads Baltimore 6-0. They're in the bottom of the seventh all of a sudden, so it's cruising along. Hey, it could still go under the way these games are going. It's the bottom of the seventh, 2 outs. Cubs 5, Cleveland 3. End of we're in the middle of the sixth here, so we got plenty of time left in this one. Houston and Colorado 2-2. And we're just seeing those other games, as we said. San Francisco now 2-0, we said, over Arizona, and Kansas City 1-0 over Seattle. Still to come, just moments away, 5 minutes away, with Colorado and the Dodgers. And like we said, it will be Clayton Kershaw just 3 strikeouts away from strikeout number 3,000 in his career. And he will become when he gets these strikeouts here tonight. We know he's going to get 5 because Sean just told us he was going to, but he will become the 20th pitcher in the 3,000 strikeout club. You know what I've been, Sean, a little bit, we had a slow day there the other day or last week, and I got watching they've started to like colorize the old videos from baseball from like the 20s and the 30s. Remember the old Babe Ruth one where he has a crown on his head, he chews the cigar. They're still colorizing some of these. It looks pretty cool actually to see some of those World Series from the 20s and 30s, and a little bit of I know we using technology a little bit, but seeing, because being the generation we're from there in the black and white, we know how colorful baseball has been. What just happened? Something fun? Some win?
Blue Jays up 2.
Yeah, up 2 now. When you were gone, it was a wild pitch that scored. Springer scored on a wild pitch. And Barger comes, what's he got? He got an RBI to knock in the he just stole a base too, but he got the other RBI there on a base hit to score Vlad. So 11-9. Either way.
Got my 18.5.
You got it, yeah. Yeah, not quite the way we drew it up, but
yep, that's all that matters. We'll take the 18.5 and been pretty happy with it. Judge is not getting up in the 9th, so. Here's the 16-year-old wonder kid.
Yeah, I'm tuning in here. And some games ended, so I'm moving them around a little bit.
Wild pitch, time to get rid of Williams and Volpe with Volpe.
Oh, here we go. I'll go with the YouTube double vision here. A couple games.
Who is pitching? Oh, Devin Williams. Has not lived up to his Milwaukee days at all.
No. He had a big wild pitch there. The catcher didn't know favors, though, with the backhand attempt there. Like I said, maybe he got crossed up because it was such a weak attempt by his catcher. Probably got to knock it, just keep it in front of you. But
so which closers do you think are going to be available?
What do you mean, in the free agent market or in the
trade market here? We got 3 weeks.
Well, I don't think that he's the Yankees man. That's the Yankees man, or just mean in general.
In general, I think they upgrade the closer. They bring in.
Oh, really? Okay. It's been that unsteady. You think they wouldn't trust him in a?
They keep him on the team, but I think they bring in somebody else to compete against him because you can't have a guy with a 5.
Okay. Bednar, maybe.
Would you go after an Andrew Kittredge from the Orioles?
I don't know. Yeah, I
Who hasn't pitched because he's been hurt all year. But
right. Well, who is in Bautista? Right? Is the
Batista only has a $1 million salary. There's no way the Orioles trade him. There's no reason to trade a guy.
They'd want too much. They'd want too much for him.
Yeah. So he wouldn't be a guy. He wouldn't be a guy that'd be available. So if you look at the standings and you kind of look at and see, hey, these are guys that could be available, you'd basically be talking about. You'd probably go to the Angels, and we'd go to the usual suspect. Now, guy who's definitely pitched in big games, but do you trust him as the guy? But that would be an interesting guy for them if they wanted to bring him on. Would be Kenley Jansen.
Yeah, I mean he's got a big contract, but it's expiring, and the Angels don't need to worry about that right now. So,
correct. That would be the question. Can you get something for him? And I think the Angels are going to try to move him to get something for him since they're not going to win. The contract's expiring. That would be now. Obviously, there's going to be other teams that are probably be interested, but that would be a move you could make that you're not giving him the role, but you're bringing in another guy who could take the role if need be. So,
yeah.
Do you go after
Chapman? But
do you go after Emmanuel Clase?
Well, I think for Cleveland right now.
So he's in the second year of arbitration.
There's a problem with his. I think Cleveland there's a couple years of control in there. I think that makes it very, very maybe makes it more difficult.
It does. So this year he's at a arbitration 2 eligible, $4.9 million. Okay. Next year is arbitration 3 eligible at $6.4 million. Then the 2 years of control that you speak of, yes, it's 2 years of control, but it's 2 years control at $10 million.
Well, then
at double the salary he's at right now.
It's unlikely. It's unlikely that he would probably be able. It would be hard to deal with Cleveland there unless they gave them an incredible deal.
Okay.
I guess
you go after Johan Duran, who's been rumored before to be on the market.
Well, a shitty option might be Finnegan of the Nats.
Yeah. That could be a move.
Better get over the Dodger game here, too. I don't want to miss Kershaw here. On the side.
Duran's on a 1-year deal. So he's a free agent, which would be reason for the Twins to move him. And they're not making the playoffs.
Right.
I just think there's some guys there. I don't think anybody in the National League Central there. I think Finnegan could be an option as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the Giants closer?
I think the thing with Finnegan's a free agent after the season, so it looks like really a prime guy.
Yeah,
there,
so Duran and Finnegan are free agents. I would rather have Duran if I was the Yankees, but yeah. So far, Honduras looks all right. Holding some possession here.
Yep, I'm watching Kershaw here, keeping us updated on that. He's got the first batter to 2-strike count here. Giants closers Duvall.
Yeah, so Duvall's also on a 1-year deal. So all these guys are options if I'm the Yankees to bring in to compete against Devin Williams and to play in the playoffs.
A lead double by the White Sox at Pages turns into got to be a double and I guess it could be a triple actually, but it might be a double and an error. It was a slice. It was a shot down the right field line, and pretty much Pages made a mockery of it down there in that Dodger right field corner. That if got to be a little bit more, if you're a Dodger, you should be able to handle that.
All right, so Dominguez struck out, Volpe flied out, and we've got Grisham on first here, so it's not over yet. You're going to go back to Ben Rice, and if Ben Rice can get a hit, Aaron Judge will get up. That's the question right now we look at. Can Aaron Judge find a way to get in that bat? Down 2 runs. What a terrible decision. What is he shooting at? He doesn't even have the angle to hit the net. He's not even working the keeper there. So let's see what happens here. Can the Yankees figure out a way? Can my boy Ben Rice get a hit? 1-2 count. Not a good start.
And this one is shot up right, straight up home plate. And coming on to wrap it up and get this game over with here on a pop fly to the infield. And Jays win.
Jays win.
So Ben Rice was not the answer.
He was not the answer. It was a little overcooked. Cubs are up 5-3. Still hanging on. We go to the bottom of the 8th.
Take a look at this Mexico game. Sean, they're having a little discussion here. We're getting a little testy over by the benches.
I think this is the water break, isn't it?
Oh, is that what it is?
It might be
No, not 11 minutes in. Look what happened. Look what happened here. See? You see it?
Okay.
It was like the Honduras player ran, his momentum carried him into the bench, but he ended up kind of shoving the players on the bench like, hey, I'm, trying to get back on the field. I don't know.
So Mexico wanted to play it. Much to do about nothing.
And the White Sox have a run here as Benintendi with a base hit, and Slater will score following that. They called it a triple there with 1 out. It was poorly played, but it does end up as a run here off of Kershaw in the first inning. We're not going to get some cards out of this, right? They're not going to give any cards out of this.
No. It's gonna be a warning. You just gave him a warning. He's gonna come talk to the Honduras bench, and that's who I think would get a card. Yep. Ochoa got a card.
Okay. Who?
Alex's brother.
Ochoa's on the bench. Ochoa's not even in this game, right?
Correct.
Okay. Hey, leave it to our man, right?
And that's not the Ochoa you think of.
Oh, okay. No, it was. I'm thinking of the. No, it is.
Okay, it's Guillermo Ochoa. Okay, sorry. I thought it was his brother.
No, I see him there on the bench now.
Yeah, he doesn't get the starts anymore.
No, but he's still. I mean, I consider him a Mexican football legend. I don't know.
Gerardo, where did you find Mexico team total over 1.5? It was minus 188 on FanDuel, minus 175 on DK. Yeah, we talked about that beforehand, that if you were going to go with that, and I was getting a good number. If I got minus 118, I would just take the team total over 1.5. Because the only way it's going to be 2-1 is if Mexico scores 2. So Mexico hasn't looked great here to start the first 15 minutes. Honduras hasn't looked great either, but it's been a muck game.
Mexico team total is I'm showing right now at about a pick 'em at 1.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
White Sox got 2 men on now. Kershaw
Yeah. Kershaw, no strikeouts here.
All right. Astros got 2 men on, 2 outs versus the Rockies. Giants up 2. Mariners down 1. And we go to the 9th inning. Chance to get this under. Henderson into the gap. Not a good start. It's going to be a ground rule double.
Oh.
Henderson does the lazy ass water thing. Doesn't really sell out with the water. I feel it kind of ran its course.
Ground rule double for the Orioles here. It is the top of the 9th, Sean. It wasn't looking good. It's 6-0 right now here with the Rangers. It looks like they can still pull this under off, although the Orioles do get that a double that you mentioned there with Gunnar.
Yeah, the problem is the Rangers are pitching Dan Dunning. Comes in with about a 5 ERA.
What happened to stunning Dane Dunning? Deep, back to the wall, at the wall, and a terrific catch. It wasn't going out, but it was a great catch near the wall by Conforto, I believe, out there, right? Makes the grab. Oh, it was right in that corner of the ball. It may have actually gone out of the yard if he hadn't have caught it. More likely it was going to hit right in that little area where at Dodger Stadium with that short fence. Sean, this week, the man who has taken away home runs in Arizona in 3 separate occasions. The other night he did it again and interfered in a play. Has been suspended for the rest of the season. He cannot go to a major league game because of his 3rd fan interference. It has been recognized. It's been basically caught on cam. He has like front row seats there in Arizona where people can kind of reach over that yellow line padded wall. And he interfered the other night in a play that was just ruled a double, but he was ejected because the ball was kind of in play. It wasn't going to be a home run. Didn't touch the guy. It wasn't really an interference play, but the ball was in play, but he's done it enough now that they said, hey, you know what? We'll let you come back next year as long as you don't interfere with any plays. But for this year, you're done.
See, I have an issue with that. I have an issue with just if you're going to put seats where the guys can reach over and you're going to want people to get the ball, it's tough to sit there and just say, hey, you can't reach. I've been in those seats.
I don't know if you saw the one the other night. I mean, I agree with you. I do agree with you totally, but I don't know if you saw the one. You know what? You could show some restraint with the ball there, especially when you're running over like 12 seats to go make the catch there or try to make the play a little bit.
Okay, that's a little bit ridiculous. But if I'm sitting right there, this ball's in front, anything's fair game. We get 1 out here from Dan Dunning. He forces the runner to the 3rd. Orioles are going to score a run here. We got Gary Sanchez, who might be 102. Still batting.
Resurrected his career here.
Yeah.
We got it here for you, though. This
Nobody
is
are close on that one. That's 2 outs. He just struck out.
we got it here for you. It's the third time this span. Okay, let me see if I got it here. Okay. Oh, that wasn't. Let me see. Oh, that they're showing one of his other ones from 2023. Let me see if we have the one though from the other night.
That's other years.
No, he did it for the third. Okay, I see what you're saying, right? Okay, this is the one from the other night here. Yes, here we go.
Okay. We're going to get in trouble for this, but okay.
Yeah, we just gotta.
Okay, yeah, he's reaching all the way over.
Clearly over the yellow line. So, by MLB rules, you interfere in a ball in play, you are ejected.
Correct. No issue with that. That's way out of the norm. Astros get 2 more runs. So they're up now 4-2.
Yeah, sorry for that. Hopefully we'll get a strike on that.
Oh, no, it's fine. White Sox finally get Dodgers finally get out of the inning. And Dan Dunning is just throwing pitches here, and Colton Cowser has no idea where this pitch is going. Not sure Dan Dunning does either, but I don't think Cowser has a clue. It's 2-2 count, top of the 9th. Cowser gives him the look, gives him the stink eye.
Hey, let's get this Texas and under here. Double winner, huh?
He throws a Jamie Moyer fastball. Clocked at 89 miles per hour. That might have been really hard.
Some channel I was having a discussion of soft tossing left-handers the other night.
Okay. And Dunning with the pitch. Ooh, and then he gears this one up to 89 miles per hour. Dunning has thrown 47 pitches in relief here as Texas tries to save their bullpen. 2 on, 2 outs, 2 strikes, and it's the 37th foul pitch. Colton Cowser's battling. Pitch number 7. Astros have bases loaded. Even the announcer's kind of fallen asleep. And Cowser pitches out and puts out pitch number 8.
Jeez.
So we've had a ball, strike, foul, 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 foul. Pitch number 9. Here we go. Dunning's going to throw basically 50 pitches here in relief outing. And that's ball number 3. Tried to get him to chase the curve. He did not go.
Did you mention these Astros runs, 3 runs here?
I mentioned the 2 runs, 4-2. I think they just scored again, but yeah.
Yeah, Smith with a single. 5-2 Astros.
And it's a pop out, lazy pop out to the left field, and the left field.
Yeah.
You're under. Good job. Good goal.
All right.
Let's see if anything's happened in Mexico, and the answer is no.
All right. Well, I've had a great time. We could stay or we can go, but we'll have a great time tomorrow night with our WNBA. I mean, come on. Have a great time.
Yeah, it should be a good time. All right, so we finished that. We'll see you out there. We've had some wins. We have some other plays. Overall, we're up for the night. That's all that matters. So we will be back tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Join us there. We will have CFL, WNBA, Major League Baseball. We will talk some Women's Euro. We will talk some FIBA World Cup for the weekend. Other than that, join us then. All right. See you, everybody. Thanks for coming. Nuke the House. Get your free week. Nuke the House specialty. Get your 1 free week. Join the Cord. See how it's going. See how it has. Decide to stay. Honduras guy's just been shot. Random shot that came from the side. It's completely gone. And There, the Dodgers tie it up 1-1, and the Mexico guy is moving his foot like he's been broken. This is the one part of soccer they really got to stop.
Smith hit a home run there, I think, huh? For the
yeah, and nice foul, clear foul. It's going to be a yellow card. He stabs him right on the ankle. That hurts his health, just to tell you.
Right.
For those of you who haven't had it.
On there for Clayton Kershaw, but I'm sure he'll get those Ks tonight.
Now he's yelling VAR while you're on the ground. I mean, that's what you got to be worried that you're really hurt if you're yelling VAR. Overlook it. Let me scroll down some more. It's a blatant call. That was a late tackle. It's there, but that's a yellow card.
Yellow card coming here. Yellow.
Yeah.
Tarjeta amarilla.
Yep. See you, everybody. Good night. We will be back tomorrow. Remember to nuke the house. All right, we're out of here. Yep.